You had many long road trips then? I can't remember where you've been.
Hello folks, welcome to Trent Bridge. Sam Dalling here, you are on the Blazes live stream. I'm alongside Beth Harmer and we are going to bring you full coverage of a top of the table clash in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. Yep, the unbeaten Blaze, 3 from 3 so far, are going up against the Central Sparks, who were unbeaten until yesterday when they travelled to Manchester and they lost to Thunder. So they're top of the table. They've played one game more than the Blaze though, so it's going to be an intriguing one. One change for the Blaze from their last game, a win over the Thunder at Loughborough last weekend. Tammy Beaumont is back now that England series is over. Michaela Kirk drops out. Sparks unchanged from yesterday's defeat. Beth, this is a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting match. I think always our close rivals, the other side of the Midlands, but yeah, it should be a really good game.
Going pretty well at the moment as well. And things in the Blaze dressing room, pretty happy?
Yeah, I think really happy. We probably haven't put up a full, complete performance yet, but just shows when you get into that habit of scraping through and getting over the other side, then it's a good habit to get into. So hopefully all aspects of the game can be performed well from the girls today and we can get a good win again.
Well, umpires Amy Clark and Anthony Harris are already out there, and you will see the Blaze openers, Tammy Beaumont and Marie Kelly, on their way out into the middle, and that's because about half an hour or so ago, Evelyn Jones, the away skipper, called correctly, and she invited the Blaze to have a bat. Will they mind that too much in your dressing room?
No, I don't think so. I think it's when you've got the likes of Tammy there alongside Teresa Graves, I think it's a good, strong partnership to go out there and hopefully get the Blaze off to a really strong, quick start.
Let's just run through that Central Sparks side then. Chloe Brewer, Abigail Freeborn, the keeper, Davina Perry, Evelyn Jones, the skipper, Courtney Webb, Katie George, Charis Pavley, Emily Arlett, Grace Potts, Georgia Davis and Hannah Baker. Who have we got to look out for in that Sparks bowling attack?
Yeah, I think Hannah Baker's done pretty well the ball this year. Good leg spinner. Katie George obviously has quite a few change-ups that she'll go to pretty quickly, so we'll see Emily Arlott opening the bowling at the Radcliffe Road end to start us off.
And you're absolutely right, you were way too polite to correct me, but Teresa Graves is out there opening the batting, not Marie Kelly. As we see Emily Arlett from the Radcliffe Road end. Apologies for the slight gremlins in a little bit of the sound, we're just sorting those out, so we'll be back with you on full sound very quickly and very shortly. You're stuck with me for the time being, and I can mitigate that by saying that Tammy Beaumont is about to face the first ball of the game. A second slip in, and that's short and turned around the corner by Tammy Beaumont. That's a lovely shot. There is a fielder out there at deep backward square leg, Chloe Brewer, but she can do nothing to cut that one off, and Tammy Beaumont starts his style, Beth.
Yeah, it's quite a nice ball to get off the mark. Just straight in down the leg side there from Arlott. Someone like Tammy isn't going to miss out on that loose delivery from her, so yeah, good start for the Blaze.
So the two fielders outside the circle. Oh, Chloe Brewer, a deep square leg. And I think there's going to be a fine leg just go in. Slight change. Fielder down at third is going to come up into the ring. And we have, in fact, a short fine leg. No, being sent down. Maybe I should stop talking until Evelyn Jones has finished her work. I did think that would be bold, wouldn't it, to only have one fielder outside the circle. Second slip comes out now. So a completely rejigged field. Cover, extra cover, backward point, short third, mid off on the offside. I think that's going to be a wide there, yes it is. Amy Clark's hands are out of her pockets. I tell you what, they'll be in the pockets for much of the day because it is not warm out there at all. I'm quite glad to be inside talking about cricket, not out there playing cricket.
Yeah, definitely. I think the weather's going to stay away today, although it does look a bit gloomy.
Cut, but straight at the fielder a backward point. So there'll be no run. So a good start from the Blaze here. Yes, it's one of those where the fingers will get hurt.
So pretty. Bryce Padley at mid-wicket there, just hits the slice in the back. Good short ball from Emily Arlott there.
Yeah, brilliant from Arlott. Tammy Beaumont has to go. She made such a strong start. That boundary off the opening ball. Remember, returning to this side for just the second time this season, and she is the big wicket. She is the one the Sparks would have sat down and tried to work out a plan. Well, she just didn't quite get hold of that pull shot. It was an easy catch really for Charis Pavlich. Just took a couple of steps to her right, held on, and the Blaze lose their first wickets. They're 5 for 1. Tammy Beaumont goes for 4. Couple of other games going on in the tournament as well. Up at Chester Street, Northern Diamonds taking on the South East Stars. Northern Diamonds won the toss, elected to bat there, so we'll keep you updated with that one, as we will with events down in Taunton, where Western Storm have been stuck in by the Sunrisers, and they're 9 for 1. 9 for 0, actually, off 1 over. Catherine Bryce then out to the middle a little bit earlier than she might have hoped. Good slower ball, pace off from Arlott. Beats the outside edge. Nice to have Catherine Bryce back after her escapades with Scotland.
Yeah, it's really good to have the Bryces back. So they bring a lot of experience back into the team. They're on pretty high at the moment, so they're bringing that back into the play squad.
She threw her arms at that, Catherine Bryce, but it's actually Amy Clark whose arms get thrown as well. Second time this over, second wide. So it's been a bit of a mixed start from Arlott. She picked up the wicket, the big one of Tammy Beaumont. England opener. Played in that series win. That's Sifa Brunt. Big 100 down at Chelmsford earlier in the week. That's better. Turned into the leg side for just a single. Chloe Brewer comes in, does the fielding, throws it into Abigail Freeborn, and we'll see open the batting a little bit later on. She's in good form, Abigail Freeborn. As are a lot of these Central Sparks players. You don't get top of the table without a couple of players in good nick. And Teresa Graves having stood down the other end for what's probably felt like quite a long time with a couple of extra wides. She takes her mark. Good end to the over then. Decent start that from Central Sparks. Couple of wides in there from Emily Arlott, but the key wicket, Tammy Beaumont goes.
Yeah, I don't think she'll mind that at all. Obviously, for a couple more runs than what she would have wanted, but as you said, picked up a very key wicket of Tammy there, so I think Sparks will be pretty happy with how that first over went. See Grace Potts coming on to bowl.
Fair few in to Trent Bridge already. Decent crowd braving the cold. Tell you what, I walked onto one of the stands and there's loads of stuff going on. There was retro games out there. There was like a slime stall where you could, I don't know, stick your hand in slime and do whatever you do with slime, I don't know.
Grace Potts into bowl. First delivery. Just worked into the offside from Catherine Bryce there for a dot ball. Two fielders outside of the ring is a square leg. Maybe just behind. And a deep third.
Yeah, a couple of free throws already in the tournament. Grace Potts, 3 for 15 against the Diamonds, 3 for 35 against the Western Storm. So she's been in the wickets.
Potts into bowl. It's another
I think Bryce just kind of stepped away slightly, and it might have just gone under the very edge of the bat, which sort of saved her. Fuller, and that's a lovely shot from Catherine Bryce. It was a half volley, it was there to put away, and she did put it away. That's a beauty, and that will make her feel much better about life. Not that she was feeling bad, but that is the shot of the day so far. Takes the Blaze into double figures. Apologies for the slight sound issues you might be experiencing. We're working hard to get it sorted at our end. We will get it sorted. Can't miss out on Beth Harmer's pearls of wisdom for the afternoon. Great to have her up in the commentary box again. Just a single. Chloe Brewer comes around at third and does the fielding. I almost thought it was back-to-back boundaries. I couldn't quite spot her out of the corner of my eye. Was slightly blocked, and then she appeared. Good thing I waited before I spoke. Been trying for 35 years to do a bit more of that, and it's finally paid off. Potts then 0 for 5 off her 0.4 overs. Struck straight to mid-off, who's back on the edge of the ring. Tend to see even the fielders in the ring hang a little bit further back in T20 cricket, and you can see in the background of the screen Davina Perrin at backward point. Looking forward to seeing her bat a little bit later on. Only 17, been playing pro cricket for a couple of years now. She's a fine talent. Good comeback from Potts then, a decent over. 2 gone. Blaze have reached 12 for 1, having been put in by the Central Sparks. Teresa Graves yet to get off the mark. Catherine Bryce has 6, that lovely boundary in the previous over. The shot of the day so far, but the Sparks will be quite pleased with this. Any power play that involves getting Tammy Beaumont is an absolute winner. Speaking of winners, I think we've got Beth back. There you are, Beth. We can hear you. Can we hear you now? Yeah, we can hear you now, I think.
Oh, look, Interbowl her second over then. Fuller delivery. Driven down the ground, but not. Catherine Bryce didn't get all of that. Will be a dot ball. So, good finish to Potts' over, to follow up with a dot from our lot as well.
Oh, I spoke too soon. I'm not sure we can hear Beth. I can hear Beth. I can assure everyone.
Our lot into bowl. Fuller delivery and driven down the ground again from Catherine Bryce, but this time to mid-on. It'll be another dot. So good tight bowling here from the Sparks. Last 4 deliveries have been dot balls.
If you're bowling at Catherine Bryce, where are you trying to put the ball?
I'd probably go Fuller and straighter.
All right.
I think those ones that she's tried to hit outside off is probably her strength. Another Fuller delivery. That one hit 2 extra cover for another single, so 3 dot balls there. Very good start from Emily Arlott in her second over.
Sort of the equivalent of a maiden in a T20, isn't it? I reckon if you can string 3 dot balls together, I think you're pretty happy as a bowler.
Yeah, it's one thing we have at the Blaze, just bowling in partnership. So obviously Potts had 2 dots to finish her over, and then obviously Arlott's gone 3 so far in this over. That one, Catherine Bryce uses her feet to come down, but Katie George does the fielding there at cover, and that'll be another dot ball.
Yeah, so 6 balls without scoring.
Yeah, we always say, you know, batting partnerships are really key, but the bowling ones are also really useful. If you can start one over and finish another one and keep it nice and tight, you're doing a good job with your bowling partner. Arlott in. Fuller delivery, and that one's worked into mid-wicket. Be another dot ball. really good bowling from her.
Yeah, she'll be delighted with this. The skipper, Evelyn Jones, will be very, very happy there at mid-on. Her decision, there always must be a bit of nerves when you're captaining. You want those first couple of overs to go well, vindicate your decision. Have you skippered much in your career through any school cricket or anything? No?
No, I think I did a couple games for Norfolk, but I don't really enjoy it. Too much to think about.
There is a lot.
Arlo in for the final ball of her second over. Fuller delivery. That one's worked to mid-wicket again. That will be a maiden from her. So a very good over from Emily Arlo.
Yeah, very rare those are in T20 cricket, and as Beth rightly pointed out, that's 9 balls now that the Blaze haven't scored from, so they'll be feeling a little bit of pressure. Catherine Bryce has 6 from 12 balls, still a lot of time to make it up. She punched that lovely boundary 6 or 7 minutes ago. That was the last scoring shot of the game, so here comes the other part of this opening partnership for Central Sparks, Grace Potts. Picked up a bag full of wickets when they reached a final in 2022, Sparks, in this competition. 10 dot balls, count them up into double figures. I mean, how many dot balls is acceptable in an innings in T20? Is that something that's talked about in meetings?
Yeah, I think it's kind of that dot ball percentage you want to keep nice and low. But as you've said, there's still plenty of time left in the innings, so hopefully not too many more, but...
And there goes Teresa Graves. She goes over the top. Doesn't quite get all of it, but being in the power play, just a couple of fielders outside the ring. And a very welcome boundary for the Blaze. It was uppish. That phrase you hear on commentary so much, oh, the bowler won't mind that too much. I think they will. I say it and then think, yeah, actually, a quick bowler never likes being hit for 4.
Yeah, no, I think if it's struck hard, then you think, okay, good shot, I can accept that, but it's probably always tough when the batter doesn't get a hold of it.
What she got as a comeback. Fuller tries to work it into the onside, but straight to mid-on, so there won't be a run there for Teresa Graves. Thought she might drop down the order with Tammy Beaumont coming back. She's a very versatile player, and she bats at the top of the order. I think she batted at 6 a bit earlier in the season in this competition. Happy to bat wherever. That hugely high backlift, it's almost like a golf swing. Comes down the wicket, it's up in the air. Oh, what a brilliant catch. That is an absolutely stunning catch from Evelyn Jones, the skipper. She will rightly celebrate. She made a couple of steps to her right, stuck out her hand, the ball stuck in the hand. And what can you say about that, Beth Harmer?
Yeah, I mean, well, Teresa showed her intent there. Obviously got away with that first 4 and wanted to go again then. It didn't look like Eve Jones was going to get there, and as you said, stuck her hand out, and sometimes they do just stick. Just seeing it on the replay now.
She kind of teases us, doesn't she? You think, oh, no, she's not going to. And then bang. It was very casual the way
very
she
casual,
did it.
Yeah.
She didn't break into a sprint. She knew what she was doing the whole time there, I think, Evelyn Jones.
No need for 2 hands there.
Yes, that's straight out of the coaching manual. That's what your coaches are always telling you in fielding practice. Right. Evelyn Jones is still very much pumped, and rightly so. I'm sure that one will get mentioned a few times. She might get fined for not getting 2 hands to the ball, I reckon. That's the kind of thing cricket teams do. But we have a pair of Bryces out in the middle. Sarah heads out to join sister Catherine. Where would you be starting your innings at, Sarah, if you're a bowler?
I reckon full and straight again. I think early on in anyone's innings, target the stumps, try and get all dismissals into the game. Just trying not to let the batter get off the mark too early and get into their innings.
Is that Fuller straight? Well, I'm asking you slightly unfair questions. I should flip it round. I should say, where is Sarah Bryce looking to score early in her innings? That's a better question for you, isn't it?
I reckon anything just short of the length or short, she'll pick up on. She's got incredibly quick hands, and if there is any width, then she does capitalise on that very well. So, again, if she picks that line early, she will go.
All bowled. She can't quite believe how that hasn't missed the stumps. You can see how much room Sarah Bryce gave herself. That's whistle pass the off stump. She survives though. End of the over. It's another productive one from a Central Sparks perspective. They conceded just 4 runs in the last 15 balls and they picked up another wicket. So 16 for 2. Oh, we're seeing that one again. I'm seeing it on my replay. It just shapes away very late. It pitches on off stump and just moves away. Doing too much of it.
Yeah, another good over there from Grace Potts. Just the 2 overs for just the 9 runs. One wicket apiece for our lot and Potts, but we'll see a change of bowling at the Radcliffe Road end. It's Karis Pavley, left arm spin.
Yeah, didn't play in the first couple of games. Picked up the big wicket of Emma Lamb in that defeat down at Manchester yesterday.
Deep mid wicket and a deep long on are the 2 fielders outside of the ring. Pavley into bowl. Good start from her. Driven back down for a dot ball. Reverse sweep from Catherine Bryce there. She gets a hold of it and that will race away to the 3rd boundary and that'll be 4 runs added.
Yeah, lovely shot that. Sweetly timed. I think she got the full face of the bat. It was fired in by Karis Pavley. She was in position early. I think the bowler saw her coming but just couldn't really do anything about it. There, bang.
I think that's the beauty of Catherine Bryce. She plays really strong shots and hits the ball hard, but her work this winter to hit behind the wicket has been exceptional. Pavley in again. Catherine Bryce goes again. Doesn't quite get as much of it on this one. It will just be the 2 runs. Perrint does the work there at 3rd. But it's just sending those question marks to Pavley, which there has been a field change. The mid wicket in the ring comes out and goes to that 3rd region in the ring.
Feels sensible that.
Worked nicely there from Catherine Bryce, straight into that gap. Just for the 1 run. Katie George doing the fielding there at mid wicket. It's good. As a batter you just want to put the pressure back onto the bowler, and Catherine Bryce has done that by hitting 2 shots in a row and one in the space and creating the space somewhere else. Sarah Bryce works that into the leg side. Ooh. Good field in there from Georgia Davis, doing the backing up there. Got past 2 fielders, could have been some buzzers there.
Yeah, I thought we were on. It got past the bowler, it got past Evelyn Jones. I think Evelyn Jones will be delighted to turn around and see that.
Catherine Bryce using her crease really well and hits that to square leg. The vacant square legs, that brings up 4 runs for her and 4 runs to the Blaze. Really good over there from a Blaze perspective, just putting that pressure back on the bowler.
Yeah, 12 off it in total, and she bought that shorter ball there, didn't she, from those 2 reverse sweeps earlier on in the over. Catherine Bryce, I believe, was just a tad wary of being hit there again, so dragged it back. Catherine Bryce just waited, so thanks very, very much. Sarah Bryce on strike then. Are we going to see a double change of bowling? I think we are, and Katie George might be about to come into the attack. It slightly surprises me they take both of these bowlers off, given how well they started. I know you want to keep your bowlers back for the death, but I think sometimes you just have to change your plans, be a bit flexible. I think they were bowling very well. And Katie George has that capability. Left arm, so change of angle. Starts with a wide. Looks like a little bit of in swing. Sarah Bryce just playing the shot she was trying to play again. Just helping it into the stand.
Deep square and deep fine leg. So But Katie George not looking to give the Bryces any width here.
Ooh, doesn't quite go where Sarah Bryce was intending. Looks like it just popped off the surface slightly. Great to see Katie George back playing after all the injury trouble she had for a couple of years.
Yeah, no, she's had a pretty good season, I would say, so far this year.
Yeah, picked up 4 for in the second game. A couple of other wickets as well. And that's a lovely pickup. Maybe didn't quite time it as well as I'd initially thought, actually, so she'll just get a couple. Lofted it over mid-wicket. Karis Pavley did the fielding. I thought she got all of it. Not quite as sweetly struck, but brings a couple of runs. Moves Sarah Bryce on to 3. In the final over, the power play, remember, so at the end of the 6th over, the fielding restrictions will change slightly. Currently only 2 allowed outside that 30-yard circle that you can see. Straight to mid-off. There'll be no run. Didn't quite time it. It's good from Katie George. 1 for 15 at Manchester from 3 overs, so economical. 4 for 36 in that game against the Diamonds. Feels like ages ago she played for England, but it sort of is, like 6 years. And that's picked up off her legs, but there's a fielder out at deep square leg. So it will just be a single, so the field set well by Evelyn Jones and Katie George.
Yeah, just seeing that square leg be moved a fair bit in front, actually. Guessing maybe Katie George looking to bowl that bit of a fuller length, where Sarah Bryce hit that to that vacant mid-wicket area.
Ooh, top edge, chance of a catch. Oh, it's put down. It was a great effort from Karis Pavley, who had to make up a lot of ground. She was looking to turn it into the leg side. She did, but it was almost a leading edge, and she had to dive forward. Scrambled across as quickly as she could. Just didn't quite stick. Catherine Bryce gets a lifeline on 17. Well bowled, Katie George. Finishes with a Yorker. So just 4 runs off it. Could have been a little bit better from a Blaze perspective. Well, from a Sparks perspective even. From a Blaze perspective, 32 for 2 off the power play. Having lost those 2 early wickets, that feels just about okay. It's important not to lose a 3rd wicket, and they've added a few runs.
Yeah, I think Blaze camp will be pretty happy at the minute. I've seen Catherine Bryce just setting herself up quite nicely here. Almost going at a run of ball now, so she looks like she's in. We're going to see another bowling change from the Ratcliffe Road end. Hannah Baker will be coming on with her leg spin. Out of the power play now. So there's a deep cover, deep square leg, mid wicket and long on. Baker into bowl, fuller delivery. Sarah Bryce works that around her legs. Grace Potts do the field in there. Come back for the 2 runs. And it will be runs, yep. Baker into bowl. Nice full delivery. Well bowled from her.
A little bit of turn early, I think.
Good fast feet from Sarah Bryce there, just working that out to cover. Brings Catherine Bryce on strike. It's important, like what we saw in the previous over at this end, just putting that pressure back onto the bowler, not letting them get into any rhythm. As Baker's on, we see that reverse sweep again from Catherine Bryce. That is well executed and will race away to the boundary, pick up another 4 for her.
Yeah, she likes that as a scoring area. She's in good touch. Catherine Bryce had a great tournament with Scotland as they qualified for the T20 World Cup, and it looks like she's come back brimming with confidence. 61 off 51 in the last game she got. Last Sunday she'd have hoped for another game sooner, really. When you're in that kind of form, you just want to keep playing, which looks right here.
Catherine Bryce just works that into square leg in the ring. We saw a field change straight after the previous shot was played, so mid-wicket in the ring goes to third man in the ring. Final ball of this over. Baker in. Sarah Bryce uses her feet, hits it to the mid-wicket pocket. Arlott does the fielding, but they'll get back safely for 2 runs. So a good over there from the Blaze. 10 coming from it. 42 for 2.
Yeah, it was nicely placed, wasn't it? Just to the right of Arlott down here. Frustrating as a bowler to see that go for 2, but I don't think there's anything Arlott could have done. It was far enough to her right. It just poked into that gap. It's a big boundary straight here down towards the Redcliffe Road end at Trent Bridge. Up at the Seat Unique Riverside in Chester Street, Northern Diamonds 51 without loss after 7 overs, so they've started pretty brightly up there. And Western Storm 42 for 2 now. They've just lost Fran Wilson in the time it took me to refresh the page in front of me. Katie George remains on and bowls a beauty to Catherine Bryce, who gave herself some room. She thought about trying to hit it over extra cover. She fought twice, then she stuck a little bat out at it. It beats the outside edge.
Yeah, Katie George just having those variations early on, as we said. Just changing the pace. Pretty much every delivery here. Difficult for the batter to pick up.
She's picked that one up though. Catherine Bryce is seeing it pretty well. That was the rarer or the lesser spotted quicker ball. The standard pace delivery from Katie George. It was in the slot. Catherine Bryce didn't quite get all of it. Did hit it for a 1 bounce 4. She moves on to 26. Starting to look ominous. Remember, she had only 6 off 12 balls. It just shows if you can hang around, it's easy enough to make it up. Pulled, but straight at mid-wicket. Slight misfield from Karis Pavley. That's being a bit harsh because it was smash at her very, very hard. They pick up a single. It's important, isn't it, as a batter, not to get too bogged down in a T20 game. If you are like 6 off 12, mentally the head can be going, oh, I'm wasting balls here. But you just got to back yourself to not play a silly shot, and all of a sudden you catch up. Yeah,
exactly. It's a lot easier to find the rope in the T20 format.
Swing and a miss. Katie George puts pace on. How rare is the pace on delivery now in T20 cricket? Is it almost like a variation in of itself?
Yeah, it is actually. We're seeing that from Katie George now, but also Sophie Monroe is obviously now on loan at Sunrisers. She does that a lot. It's very rare that a pace on delivery is bowled. So
cut away. It's over Davina Perrin. It was a brilliant effort. Diving above her head. Well, she wasn't diving above her head. The ball was above her head. She was diving. She stuck her hand out above her head. Probably needed to be about a foot taller to have taken that catch. Brings another boundary. Sarah Bryce this time. She moves on to 13.
Yeah, if you're gonna go for it hard. And Sarah Bryce did that.
I thought for a second Perrin was going to get that.
Would have been a good one.
Oh, it would have been. Last ball of the over. Of old Katie George. She saw Sarah Bryce coming. Bryce was still able to get it out into cover for a single. As the disproportionately loud and aggressive music begins to mark the end of that over. 52 for 2.
Going to see another change of bowling at the Radcliffe Road end. Georgia Davies comes on. Lots of experience from her with her off spin. Likely to get a bit of turn on this pitch as well.
Yeah, she'll be the 6th bowler we've seen already, but that's quite common in T20 cricket now. Very rare do you see teams use just 5 bowlers. 6, 7 is probably the norm. Sometimes even see 8.
deep square, mid wicket, long on and cover. The fielder's out of the ring. Davis into bowl. That one is down the leg side, will be given a wide. Good hands from Abby Freeborn behind the stumps there.
Yeah, she's very sharp.
Davis into bowl. Use of the feet there from Sarah Bryce, but Yorks herself a little bit, will be a dot ball. Fast feet from Sarah Bryce there. Nails it to extra cover on the boundary, but Pavley comes round, does the field in, they'll get back for a comfortable 2.
Yeah, they always knew she was going to have to turn and throw. Left-handed Pavley. Smart running.
Use the feet again. Field in from Davina Perrin. Throw maybe just beyond the reach of Abby Freeborn there and can't take the stumps quickly. They'll get through for the single.
Yeah, I know in T20 those are the runs that they're quite common. It wasn't a great run, it was a run on the shot. He gets away with it.
Catherine Bryce works that off her legs. 1 run.
So we've got the 2 Bryces out there batting together. What are they like as sisters? Are they inseparable as part of the Blaze change room, or do they ignore each other, or something in between?
Something in between, I reckon. Yeah, they're pretty chilled characters. So use of the feet there again. A bit of a misfield there from Davina Perrin at point, but it'll just be the single. No, they're good to have around. They don't bicker. Sarah's very chilled, and then Catherine likes to be the winner when we have like little team games.
Right,
she gets into it. As that one's worked off the back foot from Catherine Bryce there. Arlott will come round and do the fielding, but they do get back comfortably for a 2.
Yeah, it's good running that again. Good placement. We saw it in the previous over, just making Arlott work. Long on, sticking it 10-15 yards to her right, picking up a couple, nothing she could do about that.
Yeah, really good from the Blaze here. I think every new bowler that's come on has gone above at least 7s, I believe. So really putting that pressure on and making Eve think about what bowler is going to come on and do a job for her and break this partnership.
Well, she's gone back to her opening bowler, Grace Potts. 2 overs, 1 for 9. A little bit earlier on today, picked up the wicket of Teresa Graves. Great catch by the skipper. Evelyn Jones, one-handed grab, but it's been going largely the Blaze's way since then. This partnership were 44 of just 32 balls, so they'll be delighted with where they are at halfway. Oh, at the end of this over, almost halfway. Keep her up to the stumps then. Abigail Freeborn, helmet on, just trying to keep Sarah Bryce back in her crease. Deep square leg, fine leg, field out a deep cover. Swing and a miss, pace off. The eyes of Sarah Bryce lit up there. She knew what she was trying to do, just couldn't quite execute it. I assume there's a fielder down at third as well, I can't quite see. Yes, there is. Four outside the ring. Gives herself some room again. Same again. That was pace on this time, a little bit quicker from Grace Potts. Good hands from Abigail Freeborn up to the stumps. What do you reckon Catherine Bryce is saying to her sister there?
I reckon just telling her to chill. Just looks like Sarah's just maybe trying to overhit it a little bit. All she needs to do is just rely on that timing that she does so well.
Gets an under edge there. She was really reaching. She'd given herself some room. Trying to go into the offside this time. It was a good bit of bowling from Grace Potts, who just put it that little bit wider. I don't think it would have been a wide anyway. I think it would have probably just about gone over that blue line and given the space that Sarah Bryce had given herself. I think she might have got away with that one. It's a dot ball. Precious. Nice strike, but it'll just be a single. That's 2.4 overs Grace Potts has bowled now. She's only just conceded double figures. She's bowled 12 dot balls out of the 16 so far. We're talking about dot ball percentages. I can't do the math. I can do the maths at 75%. I should have backed myself. Good Yorker. Nice shot again. Repeat the last one, just a single.
Yeah, I think if Potts and the Sparks can come away with not conceding a boundary off this over, it'll be pretty big for them. She's bowled a very good over so far. Just the 2 runs from it.
It's gone up in the air. I think it's going to fall safe. It's just stuck in the ground, so it won't get a boundary. But mid-off and cover were both interested for a couple of seconds, but it went over the pair of them. And at the end of the 10th over, halfway through the innings, Blaze are 64 for 2. Beth Harmer, happy enough with that?
Yeah, I reckon so. I think the Bryces have built a nice partnership here. And it'll be key for at least one, if not both of them, to kick on and form an even bigger one. But Potts finished off that over really well. Just the 4 coming off it. Haven't had an over that's been that low in a while, so good from the Sparks there.
Yeah, I was going to say they'll be quite happy with their effort as well. Feels pretty even at the moment.
Yeah, I reckon they'll be wanting to get one of these batters out. That's Pavley back onto bowl. Catherine Bryce comes down the wicket. Diving stop from Eve Jones there, but can't get to it, and that'll be 4 runs for Catherine Bryce. Just threaded it through that gap, lovely, and a boundary to start the over off.
Yeah, that brings up the 50 partnership as well between the Bryce sisters. Catherine has 29 of them from 16 balls, Sarah 21 from 23, so Catherine definitely the aggressor, but these two forming a vital partnership, as they would have done many, many times in the past.
Quicker one there from Pavley into the pads, but worked nicely from Catherine Bryce there. They'll get through for a single.
What do you reckon they're starting to think about as a decent score then on that Blaze? I was going to say balcony, they're not on the balcony, on the bench.
On the bench. Unsure. Sarah Bryce works that to Davina Perrin, but well fielded from her. Won't be taking that single on again. Well, double it and add some, I reckon.
It's 150, 160 is doable from here.
Yeah. Use of the feet there from Sarah Bryce. Will be a shy, but in comfortably. Just tells she's trying to do some different things there to get the momentum going for her. But she's still there. Catherine Bryce now on strike. Pavley into bowl, fuller delivery. That one's worked down to long on. Where Arlott will do the fielding, it'll just be with a 1 run.
Yeah, I like that from Pavley. Not afraid to just give it some air. Be easy just to fizz it in against Catherine Bryce when she's seen the ball so well, but she bowled beautifully there, just gave it the flight.
Sarah Bryce tries to get a hold of that, and it's taken out in the deep by Katie George there. Just trying to force it, doesn't quite get a hold of it. We've seen her play that shot many times and didn't quite come off in this circumstance. Sarah Bryce gone 22 runs of 26 balls.
Yeah, partnership's broken, 55 runs from 43 between the two of them. It just, Sarah Bryce has done well. She's got 22 there. It just never felt quite like she got going. Didn't have that shot, the one you just time, and then as a batter you think, yeah, I'm in now. We've had that for Catherine Bryce. Sarah Bryce didn't quite get there, but she's done a job for her team there. They were in a little bit of trouble. Couple down for not many at all a little bit earlier on, 16 for 2 when Teresa Graves fell. They're now 71 for 3 off 11 overs. So she's helped give her team a platform there. Sarah Bryce. it looks like Nadine de Klerk is going to wander out. Now, last time I saw her bat, she made 100 in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. No, she didn't, in the Redway Flint Trophy. Then I tried to speak to her that week and she was already in South Africa. She'd flown that night to go back, just a couple of days off, go back and see the family. I loved that. Surprised her grandparents as well, weren't expecting to see her. Lovely human being, Nadine de Klerk. One of those cricketers who's basically been living out of a suitcase for about 8 or 9 months, but she loves it here. She'll be at the non-strikers end now. Catherine Bryce is going to face up to the leg spin of Hannah Baker. Take a single round to Chloe Brewer there, who does the fielding. So de Klerk is going to take guard. Looks like middle stump to me, and she's got it pretty much spot on first up. Gets the nod from Anthony Harris. Just says yeah. Long on, deep mid wicket. Fired in towards the body. Tried to give herself some room. Well bowled. Hannah Baker just followed her. Might have been a wrong one or the one that goes straight on. Bit more air. Kind of swept well in front of square, so they got 3 fielders on the leg side on the boundary. Same for Catherine Bryce and Nadine de Klerk now. Deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long off. Just they changed the field around. They didn't change the positions, but they changed who was stood in those positions. I wonder if they feel that Nadine de Klerk is more of a sweeper than Catherine Bryce, who goes to sweep that one, doesn't get anything on it. Fizzes underneath the bat. I think it was a slightly quicker one from Hannah Baker.
Yeah, I think they're just allowing Catherine Bryce to have that single in mid-wicket. That one just there.
Oh, you're very good at this. You were doing this the last time. A number of things you say that then get demonstrated. So next ball, it never happens. So Catherine Bright gets a single, but then she keeps the strike for the next over. So 12 gone, 74 for free here. Sam Dalling alongside Blaze Star, Beth Harmer here at Trent Bridge. Top of the table clash. We saw that flurry of runs in the middle there in the Manhattan graph, but they've done well, Sparks, those last couple of overs.
Yeah, definitely. Blaze perspective, that should be looking to build a new partnership. As we see Georgia Davis back onto bowl at the Radcliffe Road end. Her first go over, going for 8 runs. Catherine Bryce works that back to the bowler for a dot ball. Yeah, we see that third in the ring straight away from Catherine Bryce as she sweeps that. It's a good take from Abby Freeborn there behind the stumps. Just in her playing those reverse sweeps early on opens up a big gap at mid-wicket there. She comes down the track, tries to go over the top, and it will just plug. And they'll get back for 2 runs to Catherine Bryce there. So good running there from Nadine de Klerk and Catherine Bryce, trying to keep that momentum going. Like Georgia Davis maybe saw Catherine Bryce coming at her there and just stuck it a little bit wider. Top ball there from Georgia Davies. Quick in the ring there, being apparent.
Yeah, it was well bowled that as well, wasn't it? Just went straight on. Didn't give her any width.
That one flighted a little bit more. But it will just be a dot ball. De Klerk eager to get to the other end, but dot ball was the option. Davies in. Shorter pitch delivery, and that's hit very hard from Catherine Bryce there, just in front of square leg for 4 runs.
Yeah, it was a drag down, wasn't it? I'm trying to be kind about it, but it just wasn't a great ball. I was about to say it's been a good comeback from Georgia Davies, because it had been until that point. Maybe she anticipated Catherine Bryce using her feet coming towards her. Double bluff. Catherine Bryce just sat back. It would have been unfortunate for her if she'd hit it straight to Abigail. No, Chloe Brewer out there.
That one worked nicely. Good feet from Catherine Bryce. Just works that down the ground for a single. That brings the over to an end. Blaze at 82 for 3. Another 8 runs coming off that Georgia Davis over.
A young Blaze fan in the crowd. Seen plenty of Blaze shirts around as well. Some good kit in the club shop as well downstairs. The Blaze kit is beautiful. I'm really quite jealous of that. The training kit is very, very nice. Not sure orange is quite my colour, being very fair, but I'd wear that shirt. There's a good cap collection. I do like my hats. There's a good cap collection here at Trent Bridge, actually. You've got the Blaze ones, the Nottinghamshire ones. As Anna Baker is in, and it's cut away by Catherine Bryce, just a single. And then there's the Duckett's buckets, of course. Have you seen those? Oh, they're beautiful. Not sure I'm quite young enough for a bucket hat. I don't know.
Can always wear a bucket hat.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Hit straight to Davina Perry for no run. Yeah, maybe I might end the evening. I mean, it's quite cold. I haven't brought a coat. I'm not sure how much heat the bucket hat will bring me. I'll keep the heat on my head, I guess. Well bowled. This is great from Anna Baker. That's her 6th dot ball in 2.3 overs. Swept. Wasn't quite fine enough though. It was straight at Chloe Brewer. A short fine leg who just apologises for a slightly inaccurate throw. Okay, Abigail Freeborn, a really awkward one, just bounced before the wicketkeeper. Pulled away. It's into the gap. She didn't quite time that, Nadine de Klerk, but it went straight between the fielders at deep square leg and deep mid wicket, and she picks up a boundary.
Yeah, really good gapping there from Nadine de Klerk. I don't know if that's Katie George out there. Don't think she picked it up very quickly.
White ball, lots of white seats, aren't there? Again, tries to help it round the corner, but Grace Potts does the fielding here. It's Caris Pavley, isn't it? And is that Katie George that's coming across? It was a deep mid wicket, yeah. It must be hard actually, because there's a lot of white seats that ball's going to get lost in. End of the over, 88 for 3.
6 overs left to bowl then. So I think we'll see a bit of momentum trying to be built here from the Blaze. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw de Klerk and Bryce bring it a little bit to Emily Arlott here.
I'm too old. Does bringing it mean they're going to go after them?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Couple of overs left for Emily Arlott. She's bowled 2 overs, 1 for 7 so far. Grace Potts has got 1. Caris Pavley has 2. Katie George has 2 still. Hannah Baker 1 left. And Georgia Davies has got a couple. 6 bowlers used so far by Evelyn Jones.
Back 4 of the fielders out. Everyone else is sitting on the edge of the ring. Arlott into bowl, and that one will go over backward points head. And they'll get back for 2. De Klerk just not quite getting all of that, but still picking up the 2 runs for that.
A couple of those that the Blaze have just chipped over the infield. Might be a sign that it's their day. Another day they go straight to fielders. You end up 5 or 6 down early.
Arlott into bowl. De Klerk just a little frustrated there.
You could hear it.
I think it's one of those where it's a short ball and you've got no mid-wicket out. As a batter you want to capitalise on that and put it away, but...
Yeah. I expect Katie George was preparing to do some running there, wasn't she? Been dropped back now.
Third comes up into the ring. Mid-wicket goes out. for the delivery from our lot there. Swept from Nadine de Klerk, and that'll be 6 runs to her. Very good pick-up and great placement from her. Clears the rope.
Yeah, very good striking that from Nadine de Klerk. Down into position early. Might have been anticipating a slightly back of a length ball with the deep mid-wicket having gone out. Safely, they're going to move the fielder at deep square leg. Chloe Brewer out there. Being moved slightly to her right. It's like a deep backward square leg.
Fine leg comes up into the ring and long on goes back. Let's see, a little bit of pace off the ball here. Yep. That one's firmly struck to Eve Jones. That extra cover there will be a dot ball.
I mean, you score quite a lot of runs anyway, but perhaps you should try commentating to yourself when you're batting. 'Cause you get everything, you might call every ball right.
Arlott into bowl. Pace off delivery again. That one not struck brilliantly from Nadine de Klerk, but they'll get through for a single. Good running there from the Blaze duo.
We're almost at that stage of a game where it's tip and run, isn't it? At what point does that kick in, or is it so circumstance dependent?
Yeah, I reckon it's dependent on the situation. But I think T20 always want to have that intent anyway. As you said earlier, the fielders do tend to sit on the edge of the ring for T20. Arlott in, another pace off delivery. That one's worked well into the leg side, mid wicket by Catherine Bryce there. They'll get through for another single.
She was into position so early. It felt like she had an age to wait for that one.
Yeah, I think you can always kind of pick up what ball it's going to be due to the field, but you never know. Bowler can double bluff you. But another good over there from the Blaze. 98 for 3. Current run rate 6.53.
Katie George back into the attack. I'll just take you around the grounds quickly. Northern Diamonds 100 for free up at Chester Street off 15 overs. Winfield Hill made 30. Dobson made 50. Holly Armitage has just fallen. Katie George, left arm seamer. Catherine Bryce, who's got 48, approaching a milestone. She'll just have 49. Long on, deep mid wicket, deep square leg. Just pushes that to long on. And then one other game in this competition today is down at Taunton between the Western Storm and Sunrisers. Western Storm had 91 for 4 of 14. Sophie Luff unbeaten on 24. A solitary appeal from the bowler. Nadine de Klerk just rubs the top of her hip as if to suggest. I mean, she was down on one knee, in fairness. I think it was optimistic. Certainly, Abigail Freeborn behind the stumps was more interested in retrieving the ball. But it's a precious dot ball, which is more important at this stage. And again, de Klerk has 15 from 13. To run hard. Direct hit would be gone. It wasn't a direct hit though, and they're going to get an overthrow as well. That'll be frustrating for the Central Sparks. So close to a run out. I don't think there's really any fault attributable to anyone there. Fielder had to have a shy at the stumps. Evelyn Jones. It was hard. It nearly hit them. They scramble through for a second. That brings up the Blaze 100 as well. 101 for free.
Yeah, I think that's good cricket from everyone there, really. Good fielding, good backing up from Katie George off her own bowling, but also good running to get through for the extra run.
Pace off, dug out by de Klerk, straight to mid-off, so no run, another precious dot ball. George has now bowled 8 of them. Klerk waits 17. She's got 2 balls left in the 16th. Just a single there. brings Bryce back on strike. She's got 49. Batted beautifully. Remember, she had 6 off 12. She started slowly. Realised that she just needed a bit of time to get her iron. Gets into position early, gets the finest of tickles. Katie George is down on her knees because the tickle didn't go far away from first the stumps and then from Abigail Freeborn's hand, but she picks up a boundary that takes her past 50. Catherine Bryce, she gets a little hug from her teammate Nadine de Klerk and then takes the warm applause of Trent Bridge on what is a pretty cold day. 53 unbeaten from 44 balls, 8 boundaries, strike rate of 120. At the end of the 16th, the Blaze are 106 for free.
Yeah, really good batting there from Catherine Bryce, bringing that momentum from those Scotland games back into the Blaze attack, so really good to see. Abby Freeborn not too far away from that though. Probably thought was going down the line of the ball and then couldn't quite reach her hand out. It's Hannah Baker into bowl. An appeal, Nadine de Klerk has to sprint here. They will get through.
She almost stopped to look at the appeal, didn't it? Everyone just stopped there and then went, oh, probably should field that. Probably should run.
I don't think it's a bad thing just getting Catherine Bryce back on strike here. Baker into bowl, fuller delivery, hit hard by Catherine Bryce, but straight to Eve Jones at extra cover. Hannah Baker's final over then. Movement around the crease from Catherine Bryce there, swept hard, and that will be 4 more runs added to the total. Moving across the crease there, making full use of it and picking that gap perfectly. Good effort from Chloe Brewer on the square leg boundary, but can't get there.
Yeah, timing and placement, that was all about. Catherine Bryce, 57 now she's got. She can get up to 80. And Blaze will have a good total on the board here.
Fuller delivery and appeal, and that's been given. Commentator's curse.
I knew, as soon as that hit her pad as well, you knew it was going to get given. Sweeping. It's probably halfway up on the back leg, I think it was. We'll have another look at it. Catherine Bryce has to go then.
Yep, 57 runs from 47 balls, including 9 boundaries there, so really good little innings there from Catherine Bryce. I think she'll be a little bit frustrated she's not there. 3 overs or so left to bat would have been quite a key time for her to kick on even further, but really well batted. That brings Ella Claridge to the crease. She's in good confidence at the minute.
Yeah, we just saw that replay. Did hit her on the back leg. It was almost Yorker length. No real doubt about that one. Yeah, hit 18 unbeaten against the Thunder off just 10 balls. She can smash it down the order. Scored. I know it's different, not different format, different level of cricket, but she played a lot of T20 for Buckinghamshire. Was their top scorer for 4 out of 5 years. So can play T20 cricket and score heavily and quickly, which is what the Blaze need right now.
Baker into ball, fuller delivery, work down the ground from Ella Claridge there, but will be a dot ball. Final delivery for Hannah Baker then. Into ball, fuller delivery again, worked hard down the ground from Ella Claridge. It has gone very straight, can't actually see down there. I think it was a good bit of fielding from Emily Arlott, and they'll get back for 2 runs. The Blaze finish that over on 113 for 4. 3 left to bowl.
Yeah, I think the Sparks will be quite pleased with this. I've got Catherine Bryce out. Let's have a look at that Manhattan graph. Just felt like between overs 5 and 9 it was starting to get away from them a little bit, but they pulled it back. Wickets at relatively regular intervals. There was just that partnership, but it's been quite a steady run rate for the last 5, 6, 7 overs. Georgia Davies back into the attack. 2 overs for 16. She's bowled so far. Change of ends for her. Nadine de Klerk is sweeping. And she just finds Karis Pavley out there at deep mid-wicket comes round, keeps it to just a single at 17 balls left. How the Blaze would love, what, if you get 2 a ball from here, that's 34. Takes you to 148, 150 would be nice from here. It's a big ask from here, I think, 150. And a Claridge, that's a lovely shot though. Inside out, the hardest shot there is to play, goes over cover. Mid-off chases it, and we just said that she can score runs quickly. Ella Claridge, well, there's her first boundary.
Yeah, really good shot from Ella Claridge. She's worked hard on that offside. The last few games we've seen it come off really well. So, yeah, another really good shot from her.
Goes inside that one. Half an appeal from the bowler. Was there a little bit of inside edge on it? Yeah, I think there probably was. So that will be why it was a lone appeal from Georgia Davies. Nothing from Abigail Freeborn behind the stumps. De Klerk on strike. Again uses her feet, tries to go over Evelyn Jones but can't. She took a screamer earlier on in the innings. That one was relatively simple for a player of Evelyn Jones's class. And Nadine de Klerk has to go. Blaze have lost their 5th wicket, 119 for 5. De Klerk made 19 from 18 balls. And Georgia Davies has her first wicket.
Yeah, we've just seen Catherine Bryce obviously building her innings really nicely, and then the likes of Sarah Bryce and Nadine de Klerk just coming in, potentially looking like it's probably tricky at the start, but once you're in it maybe gets a little bit easier. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out for the Sparks innings. But Marie Kelly joins the crease.
Good person to come out at number 7 as well, Marie Kelly. Opened in a couple of the games, but Tammy Beaumont's back today. Is batting in the middle order the last couple, where she's had a bit of success actually. 20 against the Northern Diamonds, 23 against the Western Storm. That's a lie, that's the Rachel Hayhoe Flint Trophy stats I'm looking at. A bit of a miscommunication there. Chance of a run out. Marie Kelly said absolutely not. Ella Claridge, I think I heard say yes. She's not got going yet in this tournament, Marie Kelly. But as I've just said, she knows how to score runs. She's off the mark. That one was a better run. Davina Perrin at backward point. Absolutely hurled that one in. There wasn't much chance of running Marie Kelly out. I think she was in quite safely. That could have been some very unnecessary buzzers. I think she's heading off to apologise to the bowler there, Davina Perry.
Yeah, that one's hit Marie.
120 for 5 then. Probably just a little bit shy of where they'd hope to be the Blaze right now.
Yeah, I think with the platform that Catherine Bryce and Sarah Bryce kind of put on in that out of the power play kind of phase, it was looking quite promising. But yeah, maybe it's just a little bit trickier to come in and hit from ball 1, which might play into the Blazers' favour with the ball shortly. But Emily Arlott to bowl her final over of the day from the Ratcliffe Road end. Sure, we'll see some pace-off deliveries here with 3rd and fine up in the ring. And that one is hit on the pads, and that's been given. LBW there. Marie Kelly is out, scoring 1 of 3 balls.
Yeah, it just looked out from up here. Amy Clark had no doubt. I don't think Marie Kelly can have any arguments with that. Let's have another look at that one. Keep her up to the stump, so she's back in a crease. She takes that little shuffle across. It just zipped, didn't it? It pitched outside off stump. Nipped back off the pitch, hit her really low. You might argue it was doing too much, but I just think, given it was her back foot and she was so deep in her crease.
Josie Groves coming to the crease. She had some success coming in around this time against the Northern Diamonds last week here. Hit a very big 6, so she'll be looking to replicate that today.
Yeah, 24 unbeaten off 17 she made. Still got Kirsty Gordon to come as well. About all the way down, really, this lineup. Kirsty Gordon at 9, not a bad player to have.
Our lot into bowl. That one into the pitch. Aerial, but just clears the ring. Good running there from Ella Claridge. Looking for the 2 straight away.
It was good pressure, wasn't it?
Yeah. Good for the Blaze. If you can't pick up the boundary, then good work can be done with running between the wickets.
Yeah, sense bowler slightly frustrated with Courtney Webb there.
Good bit of fielding out there from Karis Pavli. Restricts it to just the 1 run. We'll bring Ella Claridge back onto strike now. Good change-ups here from Emily Arlott. Pace off deliveries look a little bit harder to put away. She's into bowl, that one into the pitch. That's hit Ella Claridge. Will be a dot ball. Well bowled from Arlott.
Yeah, 14th of the innings. She's been exceptional. A couple of wickets, 3.4 overs. She's got 22 balls, of which 14 have been dots. That's a decent day's work in T20 cricket. More than that, in fact. It's exceptional. Cryer catched that, but it fell well short of Courtney Webb, who I think did the right thing in not even attempting to, because one of those, you dive forward, you're still not going to catch it. It might go past you for a boundary.
Yeah, very good over this from Arlott. Not conceded a boundary yet off this over. Obviously picked up the wicket as well. Final delivery. Pace on. Tracy Groves hits that to the mid-wicket pocket. They will come back for 2 runs. So a good spell there from Emily Arlott. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 23 runs and 2 wickets. So a job very well done from her there with the ball.
Yeah, absolutely right. And there were big wickets as well. Tammy Beaumont was the big wicket. Karis Pavli taking that catch. Feels like a long time ago now. Just an over left then of the Blaze innings. 126 for 6. Remember, Evelyn Jones won the toss. An hour and a half or so ago. Invited the Blaze to bat. And I think Central Sparks will be pretty pleased with this so far. You're going to see Grace Potts, unsurprisingly, finish off. Her economy rate just 4.33. 3 overs, no maidens, 1 for 13 so far. She bowled 12 dot balls. That one's gone up in the air. It's going to fall just short of Chloe Brewer, who was at short 30. She was trying to just dab that over her head and over the keeper. Completely mistimed it. Come through for a single though. Yeah, 7.1 overs. The 2 opening bowlers, remember, they bowled 4 up in the power play. Came back in the middle and have come back here. Well, 26 dots between them and picked up 3 wickets. That's bowling the partnerships right there. Gives herself some room. Sharp hands from Abigail Freeborn. Is very good behind those stumps, isn't she?
Yeah, she's had a good day behind the stumps today. Don't think she's actually put a foot wrong all day. She'll be happy with that.
Four balls left in this innings for the Blaze. Can they finish with a flourish? Outside edge. Probably going to bring a boundary, I think. Chloe Brewer at short third. Was doing her best to chase it. It was difficult for her to pick up because she was looking to hit that over mid-wicket. Thick outside edge, it was spinning. Nothing Chloe Brewer could do about that at all. That might just be the start of a flourish. Even if it's just a mini one, even a free boundary at the back end of the innings. Momentum in T20 is huge.
Yeah, it would be useful. I think I'm going to stick with my point that maybe it's a bit harder to come in and hit from ball 1. So, as I said, it'll be interesting to see how the Blaze bowlers do.
Gives yourself some room there. Grove, they'll look for 2. They won't get it though. Sensible decision not to take that second run. They wouldn't have got home. Yeah, even top scorer Catherine Bryce wasn't comfortable immediately. It took her some time. They can keep taking wickets at relatively regular intervals. Sarah Bryce, she was in there for 4 and a bit overs, but never really felt properly in. Yeah, I know she scored 20 odd. 2 balls to go then, 132 for 6. Very, very good that from Grace Potts. They come through for a single. Last ball of the innings. Potts 1 for 20 off 3.5. Josie Groves, she's got 10. She's on strike. Ella Claridge has 10 as well. She's at non-striker's end. Really could do a boundary here, the Blaze. Just feels a tad below par at this stage. Won't get the boundary though. Grace Potts will pick that one up, won't have a shot at the stumps. No point in risking overthrows at this stage. And that is the end of the innings. The Central Sparks will wander off pretty pleased, I think, with their opening half of their afternoon's work anyway. The Blaze 134 for 6. Catherine Bryce, top scorer by a distance with 57 from 47. She batted beautifully, found the boundary 9 times. The problem was the rest of the Blaze batters only found the boundary 7 times between them, but you'll give credit to Central Sparks there. They bowled really well.
Yeah, I think that was a good bowling display there from the Sparks. The pitch maybe a bit trickier to come in on and hit from ball 1. So it'll be really key for the Blaze to not let the Sparks get off strike and rotate strike easily. But you don't know what a good score is until the other team have batted. So I think the Blaze will be happy. It's a total, and a total that we can defend. Probably would have liked a few more, as you say, but happy with 135 that the Sparks have got to chase down.
Yeah, well, we shall find out very soon. Sparks need 135 if they're to bounce back from yesterday's defeat against the Thunder with a win. The Blaze need to restrict them to under that if they're going to make it 4 from 4 in the Charlotte Edwards Cup and top the table at the end of today. We'll take a quick break and we will be back with you in about 5 minutes' time. Welcome back to Trent Bridge, second innings of this top of the table clash between the Blaze and the Central Sparks. And the observant amongst you will have noticed that it is the Blaze about to go out there to field. They made 134 for 6 a short while ago. Catherine Bryce top scoring with 57. Central Sparks then require 135 runs for victory. Umpires Amy Clark and Anthony Harris are on their way back out into the middle, which means the players will follow shortly, and indeed I think it's Chloe Brewer and Abigail Freeborn who are going to open up for the Blaze. Sam Dowling alongside Beth Harmer. We were chatting a little bit in the break, Beth, about how that actually might not be as bad a score as a cursory glance at the scorecard might suggest.
Yeah, I think the way that Catherine Bryce batted, she looked pretty good out there, but maybe wasn't as quick of an innings as what it maybe looked like it was going to be. So it'll be interesting to see. The Blaze bowlers will be really up for this. Some quick early wickets could really put the Blaze in a good step for another victory.
Well, first up, Stuart Broadend. Be no surprise to Blaze fans to hear it's going to be Grace Ballinger, left arm seamer. Picked up a couple of wickets in the tournament so far. Picked it up free for in the opening game. Now I'm reading me Rachel Hayho Flint trophy notes out again. That's twice I've done that. She has picked up a couple of wickets in this tournament though. 2 for 25 against the Thunder at Loughborough last Sunday. She's going to start. And Chloe Brewer. This combination has opened the batting for the Sparks. In the last couple of games, Chloe Brewer missed the first 2. Abigail Freeborn has played all 4. Best of 68. So 135 then, the target. 20 overs to do so. Run rate required is 6.75. Grace Ballinger is going to take the new ball. One slip in, Ella Claridge keeping Sarah Bryce company behind the stumps. Starts with a dot. Straight to Lucy Hyam in at cover. 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle in these opening 6 overs. We've got Teresa Graves at quite a wide long leg and also a deep square leg. So they obviously fancy that Chloe Brewer might just pick one up off the hips. A little wobble from Ballinger before she comes in. That's a beauty. I'm not sure it's going to raise much interest from Anthony Harris. Might have been a little bit of inside edge on it. Probably going sliding down, but well bowled.
Yeah, good start from Grace Ballinger. Gets a bit of movement at the start of the bowling innings, so should be looking to pick up a couple quick wickets here. 2 dot balls.
Goes for a little dab sweep, Chloe Brewer. Can't get it away. Goes to Ella Claridge at first slip on the bounce. So 3 dots to start with. What makes Grace Ballinger such a difficult bowler to face?
I think she just comes from that bit more height, a taller bowler, so a bit of height, and she gets the ball to go both ways, which I think is really useful early on in the innings. Bit more bounce as well, but she allows the ball to have shape on it, which is really good.
First runs of the afternoon for Chloe Brewer and the Central Sparks. Not the most convincing stroke, but they pick up a single. Abigail Freeborn calls her through. She's about to face her first ball. I love watching Grace bowl. It's that little, almost like a clock at the start of her run-up. She's kind of a pendulum swinging from side to side, just steadies herself. Very fluid action. Couple of thousand of you on the live stream. Great to have such good numbers in. Brilliant game of cricket, I think we've got. They're A few more pouring through the gates here at Trent Bridge as well. Double header, so the Nottinghamshire men's team are playing a little bit later, but plenty in to see the Blaze in action first. Again goes for a little dab sweep. There's an appeal from behind the stumps. Sarah Bryce was up, as was Ella Claridge. Bowler wasn't particularly interested, but those two behind the stumps were pretty convinced.
Yeah, I think it's pretty encouraging to see those kind of shots this early on. I don't think Grace will mind that at all. And yeah, I think Sarah and Ella felt like they heard something, but like you said, not really much movement from Grace. But very good first over.
3 or 4 times there. Sparks have tried that shot against Ballinger. On he runs. Try it again. This one is helped round the corner, but just be a single. There's a wait to see if there's any bat on it. Yeah, I think there was a little bit of bat onto pad. So end of the over. A successful first one from the Blaze in terms of runs conceded. They'll be desperate for that early wicket or two. But at the end of the first over, Central Sparks are 2 without loss.
Yeah, really good over there from Grace Ballinger. That's what she would have wanted. To start off nicely, we're going to see Kirsty Gordon opening the bowling at the Ratcliffe Road end. We saw a bit of turn in the Sparks innings. So we will see if there is any for Gordon here. We've got a deep mid-wicket and a long on.
Suggestive of what the pitch is doing. They've gone to Kirsty Gordon. Well, Kirsty Gordon's gone to herself. First up.
Yeah, I think it'll be important. It's obviously hard to start an innings on this pitch, as we've seen. Gordon in. We see the little reverse paddle there from Abby Freeborn. It doesn't have enough on it to go. They'll come through for the 2 runs. Yeah, I think it's obviously Kirsty Gordon's a big strike bowler for the Blaze, so should be looking to take those early wickets and not allow the Central Sparks batters to get themselves in.
Yeah, she's not opened the bowling yet in this tournament this year, but has been first change a couple of times, so always on early.
Given a wide ball there. So, was a bit of movement there from Abby Freeborn, but given a wide.
It just seemed to deceive everyone, that one, didn't it? Sarah Bryce started off shuffling to her right, ended up diving back to her left.
Field change as cover goes out and a mid-wicket out. Marie Kelly up into the ring at mid-on. Brewer comes down the track. And Sarah Bryce doesn't take it cleanly. She got back pretty quickly though. Not sure if there would have been a chance there, but nice bowling there from Kirsty Gordon, good pressure.
Yeah, one that just slightly gets away there. I think Sarah Bryce will be a tad disappointed. She couldn't hold on.
Kirsty Gordon goes up. The umpire's unmoved. A good dot.
Yeah, height I think was the issue with that one.
Just having mid-on and mid-off in the ring really invites the batters to go over the top. Gordon in. Brewer moves around in the crease. Good bit of fielding there from Ella Claridge. Square leg in the ring. It will be another dot ball.
This is excellent from Kirsty Gordon. Such an experienced cricketer, despite still being relatively young. Played so much at such a good level. Just changing her pace, changing her line.
It's been hit up in the air. And it's taken by Michaela Kirk out at mid-wicket. Great start for Kirsty Gordon and the Blaze, and a great catch as well.
Yeah, it's been coming that in these opening 2 overs, particularly against Kirsty Gordon. They just haven't felt like they know how to play her. Chloe Brewer. It got stuck a little bit, the opener. Just a 1 run, 7 balls she faced while she was out there. Well, she has to go. It was a good catch as well. Had to steady herself. Thought it was going to carry, then thought it was going to drop a little bit short, so just a shuffle in. Took it very low to the ground, but safely enough, and that is just what the Blaze needed.
Yeah, very good catch from Michaela Kirk there. She is Just noticed that Nadine de Klerk isn't on the pitch.
I was going to ask who she's on for.
Yeah, her and Catherine did run quite a few quick singles, so I don't know if it was something with that.
That also explains the Kirsty Gordon opening the bowling as well.
It would,
to some
yeah.
extent.
Yeah. Chloe Brewer gone for 1 run then, off 8 balls. Really good start here from the Blaze. Davina Perrin joins Abby Freeborn at the crease. A good young talent. She'll be looking to continue her good form at the moment. One ball left of Gordon's first over. Just the 4 runs coming off it so far. And obviously that big wicket, as we've just seen. Gordon in. Full delivery. Defended nicely from Perrin there. Will be a dot ball. Good. First over that for Kirsty Gordon. Central Sparks 6 for 1 off 2.
Yeah, brilliant from Kirsty Gordon. Just when you needed the skipper to put her hand up, she does just that. It's a brilliant start as well, Grace Ballinger. Don't forget her role in that wicket. Talk about bowling in partnerships. It's keeping that pressure on, putting that pressure on the Central Sparks. They'd have loved to get off to a flyer. Yes, it's a relatively low total, but it looks a tricky pitch. You need to get your eye in before runs flow freely, and they'd have loved to have been 20 without loss after the end of these 2 overs, just to take all that pressure off the scoring rate, have a couple of set batters, but as it is, Abigail Freeborn has faced just the 3 balls so far, the opening 12, she's got 3. And the youngster at the non-strikers end, Davina Perrin, I've been looking forward to seeing her bat in person. I'll have to wait a little longer though. As Freeborn cuts that one, it was a nice shot. She's a bit unfortunate there really. Straight to Teresa Graves at backward point. No, it's not Teresa Graves at all, is it? Michaela Kirk, subfielder. South African, Michaela Kirk, so replacing one South African with another in some ways. Well, not in some ways, it's a fact. Anyway, Ballinger to Freeborn. Fuller, driven, can't get it away. Hit firmly to Kirsty Gordon at mid-off. 6 dot balls for Ballinger already out of 8 she's bowled.
Yeah, really good start. I think that one that Michaela Kirk fielded could have easily gone either side of her, and 4 runs to Freeborn, so having that as a dot ball is really good for the Blaze.
Another dot. Just shaped back into Abby Freeborn. Couldn't get it away. A little bit chirpier now, the Blaze out there. Good pressure early on. Just pushing that required rate up now. 6.75 it was at the start of the innings, up to 7.37. Davina Perrin just having a quick chat to Abby Freeborn. That open stance sets her up to hit into the leg side. She does, not so convincingly, but be just a single. There's Teresa Graves. I found her. I was looking for her earlier in the over. She wasn't at backward point, but she was at long leg. 7 for 1. 2.4 gone.
Yeah, great bowling there from Grace Ballinger. I think all 3 of those runs that have come off her bowling have been inside edges of the bat, so she'll be very pleased with the way she started here. She'll just want that wicket to top it off.
Davina Perrin, England under 19 star, doesn't turn 18 until September. 79 in the first game, unbeaten against the Sunrisers. It's an outside edge here. Going to pick her up 4 as well, I think. The chase is on by a couple of Blaze fielders. Wasn't convincing, but it picks up a much needed boundary actually from a Central Sparks perspective. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, just uses her feet, shuffles, flashes hard as they say. Ella Claridge is in it, slip. Michaela Kirk backward point, but no one at third. So, risk-reward ratio is decent for the batter. That's a nicer shot. She was much more in control of that. Davina Perrin just opened the face up all the way along the ground. Back-to-back boundaries to finish the third over for the Central Sparks. They're up and running, 15 for 1.
Yeah, much more convincing shot there from Davina Perrin. Opens the face of the bat there and guides it to that vacant third man area. Can you see a bowling change? Kirsty Gordon takes herself off and brings on Catherine Bryce at the Ratcliffe Road end. We've seen a bit of movement from Grace Ballinger with the ball early on, so I'm sure we'll see that with Brycey. Moves the ball in nicely to the right-handed batter. Still in the power play. We've got a deep square and deep mid-wicket. Bryce into bowl. And there is that movement. Just worked to Tammy Beaumont there at mid-wicket in the ring for a dot ball. Plenty of noise coming from the Blaze fielders. Sounding like they're very much up for it.
Rightly so.
Freeborn just looking to go on the back foot there, but Catherine Bryce. Another dot ball.
Decent start for the Western Storm down at Taunton. They got Sunrisers 9 for 1, chasing same 135, so same total to win.
See that kind of reverse paddle again, but it'll just be for the 1 run. Freeborn just allows the ball to go off the bat. No power, just placement of the bat, waiting for the ball to come. Don't think the Brycey will mind that.
Izzy Wong on loan from Central Sparks. The Western Storm, great to see her playing a bit of cricket. Her and Lauren Filer opening the bat, bowling together. There can't be many quicker opening attacks than those two. Be great to see Izzy Wong back to her best.
Full delivery, and that's caught and bowled from Catherine Bryce there. Davina Perrin slightly early on that ball, but safe hands from Catherine Bryce. Very good start to dismiss Davina Perrin.
Yeah, big wicket that. You can see how frustrated she was with herself. Davina Perrin just mistimed it. She was looking to hit back over the top. Let's have another look at it. It just cuts back into her. Doesn't get anything on it. There's that frustration. Opposite emotions though for Catherine Bryce, who is sticking her hand up for the Player of the Match award at this stage. Beth?
Yeah, definitely. I think there was a couple caught and bowled opportunities in the previous game against Thunder. Much harder chances than those, but I'm sure Catherine will be really happy to take the next opportunity she's had with that. But yeah, she's playing a big part in this game so far. Just 1 for 1 off 0.4 overs. Eve Jones joins Abby Freeborn at the crease. We've seen in her previous games she's been that batter that anchors their order and stays in at the end of their innings, so it'll be important for the Blaze to try and get her out as quickly as possible here.
Yeah, she's a fine player. I mean, it still amazes me that she hasn't had an England cap in her career yet. She's not given up. Came close again last year. I think she was captaining the England A side. Played that warm-up game, didn't she, before the test match here, or there was a warm-up game maybe on at the same time. She was definitely playing in that. Fine player though. Sparks captain for a reason.
Bryce into bowl. Nice full delivery, and that's worked nicely behind backward point. Lucy Heim gives chase, but she won't be able to get that. That's 4 runs straight off the mark from Eve Jones there.
Timing and placement, Beth, that was all about. Just waited for it. Didn't try and overhit it. Knew exactly what she was doing. It was a teasing one as well for Lucy Hyam. Sprinted away valiantly, but it was always running away from her. Can't give up though, just in case.
Bryce again, full of delivery. Eve Jones goes back to that. Plays it to mid-wicket, and that will be a dot ball. Bryce finishes her over with the 1 wicket and just the 5 runs coming off it. Central Sparks 20 for 2 off 4.
Yeah, there's the comparison on the Manhattan graph. You can see both sides had lost a couple of wickets by this point. So fairly even from that perspective. It feels even. 119 off 16.2, so the required rate 7.29. Going to see Grace Ballinger bowl a 3rd over. Well, 2 overs, 0 for 11 so far. Just having a chat with Kirsty Gordon. Still inside the power play, so a couple more overs before Kirsty Gordon has a bit more freedom to move the field around. Just 2 allowed outside the circle. Is there? Caught me headphones trying to stand up. Yeah, there is a fielder down at 3rd, and there's a deep square leg. Everyone else up in the ring, including short fine leg. Solid from Abby Freeborn. 5 from 11 balls now. Remember, Catherine Bryce had 6 from 12. It's not all about the start, as Eve Jones will no doubt have reminded their teammate. Big shout for LBW, very big, it looked good, it is good. Celebration up in the box. Beth Harmer was giving that out. But crucially, the man who matters, Anthony Harris, his finger is raised, and Abigail Freeborn, well, it hasn't finished well for her either. 5 off 12 balls she's made, and Grace Ballinger deserved that wicket. 20 for 3, Central Sparks. Yeah, really good there from Grace, not going away from what she knows best, and not picked up that wicket, but she wasn't searching for it either, and just traps Abby Freeborn right in front of the stumps there. Yeah, we see on that replay, she takes that initial trigger movement, is backing across with her back leg, so she's hovering right above the stumps. It hits her low. It's an easy decision for Anthony Harris there. And brave as well from Kirsty Gordon. You know, perhaps the plan is maybe to only give your opening bowler a couple, but she realised that Grace Ballinger was bowling well, moving it around. Abby Freeborn wasn't comfortable against her, and she kept her on, and it's worked. Yeah, definitely. I think, as I said earlier, apart from the couple that went down to 3rd man, a lot of Grace's runs came from the inside of the bat, so she had a really good start with the ball, and good work from Kirsty Gordon to keep her on and back her bowler there. And back her bowler she did. So work to do for Central Sparks, then work to do for Courtney Webb. They're Australian overseas who's come over to play this summer. Brilliant signing. It's brilliant to see the calibre of players that are coming over to play professional women's cricket here in England. So much experience in T20 cricket. Played so many games for Melbourne Renegades in the Big Bash over in Australia, and now she's here playing the Charlotte Edwards Cup with work to do. Just slightly off with the radar. Sarah Bryce does well to move to her left. These two then, Eve Jones was instrumental in getting her to come across, the Central Sparks skipper. They were teammates over at Melbourne Renegades. You see that so often in the men's game, the way that relationships have been built playing in these T20 leagues, and then you go, right, well, do you fancy coming and playing a stint over here? And that's starting to happen in the women's game now. Evie Jones getting Courtney Webb across, and she's off the mark nicely. I think she's going to get a boundary. No, absolutely fabulous stuff from Teresa Graves. She's going to scramble back for 3. Open the face, it was all about timing. And Graves showed the value of not giving up. Superb work, put in the full dive. Saves a run. Could be a crucial run, that, Beth. Yeah, it could be. That's a good effort. I honestly thought Teresa was at fine leg, so I thought that was 4. Well, we can't quite see, so maybe she got around. Maybe she's just much quicker than you think, and she got across. That would be quick. I'll stand up and check. I'll try not to take myself out and stand on my own. She is now at fine leg. No, she's not, because it's a left-handed Evie Jones. Another big shout for LBW. I think what might save Evie Jones is how far she was down the pitch there. It felt good. You know when you can sometimes tell with an LBW just the way it, well, saying the obvious, where it strikes the batter, but just the way the fielders go up. But I think Eve Jones batting outside of her crease and got a stride in has saved her. Not playing Grace Ballinger that well though at the moment at Central Sparks. She might even get a full favour. Goes for the Yorker. Doesn't quite get her length, but it'll just be a single. Michaela Kirk, the subfielder, does well at deep square leg. Courtney Webb back onto strike. 110 runs required to win then. 15.1 overs left. Another wicket or two here early though, and the Blaze will be very much on top. Cut away. There's that outside edge. Teresa Graves is down at third. She's got a strong arm. Fires that one in. No chance of two. End of the over. 5 gone. 26 for 3.
Yeah, good over there from Grace Ballinger, picking up that wicket there of Abby Freeborn. She's been in a good run of form this year, so good from Blaze perspective to see the back of her. Lucy Hyam coming on to bowl from the Ratcliffe Road end. We are still in the power play, so there'll just be a deep square and a deep mid wicket. Mid on and mid off in the ring, so ultimately saying to the batters, go for it if you want to, with the hopes that they'll run past one or miscue it. Central Sparks 26 for 3 then. Lucy Hyam into bowl. That one struck firmly to Josie Groves at cover, but well fielded from her. Was just a dot ball. Tammy Beaumont talking to Lucy Hyam, doing a bit of running, but going back to where she was. Fuller delivery, better there from Lucy. That one's worked into the leg side for the single.
How much of a presence, how much of a character is Tammy Beaumont out in the field?
Yeah, no, she's good. She loves it. If there's a game, she'll want to be playing it. So she's good. It's quite interesting to see like two big characters in the team of her and Kirsty Gordon, but the experience of both of them together is very good to have. So it's always a bonus having her back in the team. Lucy Hyam in. Eve Jones not got all of that, but it might race away. It will race away. That'll be 4 runs to her. Well placed from Eve Jones to a backward square. She moves on to 9 off 5.
Yeah, it was a nice stroke. She had to wait for it. It was given plenty of airtime by Lucy Hyam. Not sure.
Similar delivery, and what a catch there from Lucy Hyam. Caught on bowled. Eve Jones wasn't moving.
No.
Umpires are just going to speak to each other to see if it's carried.
Yeah, she had a look across at Anthony Harris immediately. It was fired back low. It was a brilliant bit of work. And the question is just, did it carry on the full? Not sure Lucy Hyam's claimed it, you know. I think fair play to Lucy Hyam. She has turned around and said, I'm not 100% sure there. Everyone else was celebrating, and I think Lucy turned to Amy Clark and went, I don't think that's quite got to me.
Good bit of fielding then.
It was a great bit of fielding and a brilliant show of how cricket should be played.
Eve Jones works that to long off for a single.
Umpires' jobs are hard enough, so it really helps when you've got players who are prepared to show plenty of honesty.
Lucy Hyman to bowl that final delivery. Good fielding there from Ella Claridge at extra cover. She's used to standing behind the stumps. So a good bit of work from her. Lucy Hyam finishes her first over, 6 runs from it. Central Sparks 32 for 3 off 6.
Yeah, decent power play. From a Blaze perspective, it's those 3 wickets. And I can never remember the stat. It changes month by month, but the chances of winning a game when you lose 3 wickets in the power play are massively reduced. So ideal from a Blaze perspective. We're not going to see the full 4 overs from Grace Ballinger. Instead, we're going to see Josie Groves into the attack from the Stuart Broad end. A good tournament so far. A couple of wickets in that excellent win down at Southern Vipers. 3 for 20 against the Diamonds, another excellent win. And 1 for 32 against the Thunder. It was a big wicket, got out of Frelkeld. I think it was first ball. It's going to come around the wicket to Eve Jones. She's got 10. Courtney Webb's got 5 at the non-strikers. Just takes a single. 33 for 3. Field changes. Right hand, left hand combo. So what have we got? We've got a fielder. I think Michaela Kirk, is it? The subfielder is out patrolling that cover boundary. Got a long on, a deep mid wicket, a deep square leg, and quite a straight mid wicket. And that ball has gone just to the right of Catherine Bryce. It's straight mid wicket. Couple of singles. The first 2 balls from Josie Groves. Won't mind that too much. Required rate up to nearly 7.4. Just getting those hands going. Difficult day to be a spinner. It's not warm out there at all. Might be a few hand warmers in pockets. Eve Jones just pushing that one on the back foot down to long on. Must have felt by now that the hand warmers could go away until next season, or at least until September.
Yeah,
you can't rely on.
I would have thought so.
Cannot rely on the English summer. First day of June tomorrow, and there'll be people with hot water bottles in here tonight, I suspect. Going to be a wide. Roll that one again, Josie Groves. 99 to win. Below 100, that psychological barrier is broken. Big appeal from Josie Groves. Wasn't joined in by Sarah Bryce behind the stumps. It is leg bias. Felt like it might have been a little bit high, maybe going down leg side. Going to come around the wicket to left-handed Eve Jones. Got 12 from 9. Long ons out. So deep mid-wicket. Just pushing it down the ground. Another single. So 6 off the over so far. 1 ball to go. Been that 1 wide. Won't mind this Central Sparks. They can just rebuild for a couple of overs. Oh, that's beautiful. That is a lovely, lovely shot from Courtney Webb. Just uses her feet, gets to the pitch of the ball, opens the face of the bat, inside out, over extra cover. Let's have another look at that one. There she goes, bang. Look at this hand speed, bat speed. Graceful, yet so sharp. Lovely stuff.
Good stuff from the Sparks there. Groves first over 1 for 9 runs. Look like they're building a little bit of momentum, but Lucy Hyams back on the bolt at the Radcliffe Road end. Her first over 1 for 6. delivery. Bit of turn on offer here for Lucy Hyam. Worked into the offside for a single. Just rotating that strike quite nicely, Sparks are. Deep square, mid wicket, long on and cover is the field. That one not timed particularly well. Good dot for the Blaze there.
What's Lucy Hyam trying to do here? Take wickets or contain?
Bit of both.
Perfect world.
Yeah. That's beautifully bowled from Lucy Hyam there. Good pace, good line. Another good dot from her. Halfway through her second over. That one just worked into the leg side from Webb. Will just be the single. Just the one run off this over so far then. I think I meant 2, now it's 3. That one was struck firmly back at Lucy. A slight misfield from her. But it was struck hard. Full delivery. That one's played straight to Catherine Bryce on the square leg boundary. Be a single to finish off that over. 4 runs from it. So below the required rate there, so Lucy Hyam will be pretty pleased with that. That required rate is above 7s now, so Blaze will feel quite in control.
Yeah, it changes so quickly in T20 cricket, particularly in a low scoring game like this. Partnership's 26 from 22 now. Kirsty Gordon's bringing herself back onto bowl. She had a little bit of success, well, 20 minutes or so ago. Picked up the first wicket of the innings. Chloe Brewer was the one to fall back then. Change of ends though, she's on at the Stuart Broad end this time. She's going to be bowling at Courtney Webb. Webb just uses the pace of the ball, pick up a single out to deep cover. If you're wondering why Michaela Kirk is out there, she's sub-fielding for Nadine de Klerk. So we'll try and find out what's up there. Presumably she's picked up a niggle, hopefully not too serious. Fires that one in at Jones, who can't get it away and actually falls over playing the sweep shot, so no chance of scrambling free for a leg by. So another dot ball. Every dot ball, that run rate required will just climb a little bit. They won't feel too much pressure, these two. They've played a lot of cricket. They'll know that it's more important that they're still batting in 5 overs together. Even if it's up at 8, they'll back themselves to do that. 8, 8.5. That's straight. Now our fielders at long on, long off. And it's a great bit of fielding. Courtney Webb thought long and hard about coming back for the second, decided not to, and that would have been quite tight. Courtney Webb on strike. 13 from 13. Gloomy here at Trent Bridge. Suspect the floodlights might be on earlier than planned. Can't get that one away. It's a mid-wicket. Yeah, clubs around the country been hoping to save on the electricity bills at this point in the summer, but floodlights are going to be required, I think. In the gloom. Use of the feet there. Courtney Webb shapes up really nicely. Picks up a single, tipped round the post by Lucy Hyam. Deflects it into the path of Catherine Bryce, who's at long off. Long on now for the left-hander. Need a wicket now, the Blaze. Sparks just need to keep building this partnership. 1 shy of 50. Now they have 50. 9 gone. 50 for free, the Central Sparks, chasing 135 to win. That required rate 5.56. No, the current rate is 5.56. The required rate is 7.73. There's that comparison of the two scoring graphs. So pretty similar. Lost an extra wicket, the Sparks, compared to the Blaze at this stage, which is just what slowed them down a tad.
Yeah, I think 2 really good overs there from Kirsty Gordon. Going at 4s, so well below the required rate that the Sparks need. We are going to see a bowling change. Teresa Graves comes on at the Ratcliffe Road end. Hasn't bowled much this year for the Blaze, but when she has, she's taken a few key wickets, so she'll be looking forward to bowling here today.
Well, it's a big test, isn't it? 'Cause actually, if they're going to win today, the Blaze, they're going to have to do so without Nadine de Klerk bowling. And she would normally bowl 3 or 4 overs, so that's someone's got to step up.
Graves into bowl. That one goes down the leg side. Sarah Bryce can't stop it. Grace Ballinger will give chase. They will come back for 2. Not the start that Teresa Graves would have wanted.
No, very difficult for the wicketkeeper there. Stood up to the stumps. That was fired well down the leg side. Did well to get a hand on it and stop it. Take a bit of pace off it.
Good to see there's still a bit of movement though with the ball. Graves into bowl. Fuller. That's worked. Down the ground from Eve Jones there. Come back for the 1.
Yeah, and there's 4. I mean, in this sort of chase, you just want an early boundary in the over, then you can just take the singles. So now there's no pressure on the Sparks in this over.
Cover, square leg, mid wicket and long on. The field is outside the ring. Graves into bowl. That one's wider. And that has been given a wide. Didn't think she was going to give it there.
Courtney Webb just had a look and went, come on, surely you're going to give that.
Graves into bowl. That one is wide again. Not able to control this late swing that she's getting at the moment. That one is struck by Webb, but fielded nicely from Josie Graves. At deep cover, I'll get through for the single. Looked as though if she left that one, it could have been given a wide as well. Eve Jones on strike. Opens up in the crease, works it to cover, and she'll get through for a single. So still just rotating the strike nicely. They've got 8 runs of just a 3 ball so far, so yeah, the wides have meant that they haven't had to take any risks in this over.
Chance just to nudge that scoring rate down a little bit further these last couple of balls.
That one's worked well off the hip by Webb there. Lucy Hyam runs round and it'll just be a single, so a good bit of fielding from her. 2 balls remain of this over. Sarah Bryce quickly onto that. It will go through for a leg bye. It's not been given as a leg bye. Must have got a bat on it. Good running between the wickets though from these Sparks batters. Eve Jones 20 off 18. Webb 16 off 17. Current partnership 40 off 33. Final ball. Teresa Graves, that one's played to Catherine Bryce at backward point for a single. Central Sparks 60 for 3 off 10 overs.
Yeah, decent enough comeback, given she conceded, what, 6 runs off her first ball, I think it was, by the time we had all those wides thrown in. There's Manhattan Graph. This is going to be tight. Very tight. Halfway there, 60 for 3. Required rate 7.5 and over. Another wicket or two, though, and this will swing back very much in the Blazers' favour. If these two bat for another 5 hours, Central Sparks will be favourite. Top 2 teams, remember, coming into today. Blaze unbeaten. They've won 3 from 3. Central Sparks had won 3 from 3 themselves, but then they went to Old Trafford and lost to the Thunder yesterday. Blaze losing finalists in this tournament last year. Sparks lost at the same stage the previous year. Southern Vipers winning on both of those occasions. But Sparks and the Blaze, clearly 2 of the better sides in this competition. Cut away, that's timing. It's going to take some chasing, but it's very, very good work out on the deep cover boundary by Josie Groves. Keeps it to 2. Evie Jones back on strike, 22 from 19. Now she's in, Evie Jones, she needs to capitalise. Needs to bat for the next 7 or 8 overs if she can. Let other people take the risk if they want to. You need someone to bat around, because if someone to get 70 in this game, then chances are you're going to have won it. Good pace off delivery.
Goodness me. Good ducking from the umpire there.
Slightly wayward that, wasn't it?
Yeah, and amongst that, the Sparks get through for 2 runs.
Anthony Harrison had his head taken off. Here's Catherine Bryce. And into the leg side, just a single. 5 off the over so far, so it's been a good one from a Sparks perspective. Over 4,000 of you tuning in on the live stream, which is brilliant. Pick the right game, I think this one's going to be tight. Changing the field to the right-handed Courtney Webb. She's got 16 from 18. Played so much T20 cricket, as I was saying earlier. 76 games for the Melbourne Renegades in the Big Bash. Deep square, deep mid-wicket, long on. Punched it into the covers, but Michaela Kirk is out there. She almost hit that too well. Now Michaela Kirk to keep it to 1. Having to work double hard out here, the Blaze, with this left-hand, right-hand combination as well, so having to change the field almost every ball. Trying to force it. Chance of a run out. Had to come round though, Ella Claridge. It was a good run because you could see Claridge would have to move and get right around the ball in order to throw over. Right hand, end of the over. 11 gone, 67 for 3. Pretty much bang on halfway there.
Yeah, I think the Blazers would just be wanting to break this partnership. 47 runs off 40 balls, so a couple of quick wickets here. We'll turn it right back in the Blazers' favour, but close game it is currently. Josie Groves to come on at the Ratcliffe Road end. She's bowled 1 over so far. She's gone for 9 runs.
Western Storm look favourites to win their game. Sunrisers 62 for 6 just after the halfway stage, chasing 135 to win also down at Taunton. So Storm well on top of that. And South East Stars, well, they're 103 for 3 in pursuit of 125 to win. Ronnie Smith is 46 unbeaten. So they look well set. Although we did see Northern Diamonds collapse a little bit earlier.
Good delivery from Josie Groves there. Marie Kelly comes in and takes the catch at long on. Fantastic bit of fielding there and very well bowled from Josie Groves to dismiss Eve Jones there. She was batting nicely. The ball was lofted up in the air and the Blaze capitalise on that nicely.
Yeah, Josie's not groaning. She's smiling with delight. It was a brilliant catch as well. Set herself really well, Marie Kelly. Time to have movement forward and that little slide to perfection. Safe hands. And that's just what the Blaze needed. Just as the Central Sparks were starting to feel like they were on top, that partnership would have been frustrating the Blaze. That's to end though. That means they have to rebuild again. 47 that was worth. Katie George saw her with the ball a little bit earlier on. Now we're going to have a chance to see her with the bat. She's a fine player with the bat too.
Got to give credit to Cassidy McCarthy. She's run on drinks today. Michaela Kirk's on the pitch. You've got to think, 11 litre, 1 litre water bottles that she's carrying in both hands, on and off.
Yeah, some weight that.
There is some weight, yeah. Normally there's 2 of you doing it, but credit to her.
Flying solo.
Katie George then to the crease. She can hold a bat as well. So the Blaze will be looking to get her out nice and quickly too.
Yeah, a bit more of a buzz around the ground now, isn't there? Needed that wicket, the Blaze.
Very nicely bowled there from Josie Groves. Bit of a crowd catch going on, if you can hear that. Always love to hear it. Good hand from Josie there. Could have been a few more runs, but good stop.
I'll tell you what, the spinners on both sides have not been afraid to flat the ball up, stick it above the eye line. And actually batters have been quite restrained. They've shown good timing, waited for that ball to drop.
Josie in. Webb comes down the track. Good fielding there from Tammy Beaumont at extra cover. Just feel like the pressure's building a little bit. Plays with a wicket in the over and restricted very well. Just the 1 run coming off it so far. Good stop there from Grace Ballinger. They'll get through for a single.
It's such a hard position to field there, isn't it? Because you just don't know where the ball's going to go, what angle it's going to come off at.
Yeah, it's always tough. Looked like she was gearing up to hit that hard as well. Groves in, final ball of the over. That is extremely well bowled again. A very good over from Josie Groves there. Just the 2 coming from it. And 1 big wicket of Eve Jones as well.
Yeah, just the spark that the Blaze needed there. Perhaps they nudge back in front. 66 needed, 48 balls left. Still 6 wickets in hand. Courtney Webb is out there. It's been a nice start, 18 of 21. Probably going to have to go on and get a decent score here. A lot rests on her shoulders. Lucy Hyam, by loads of things, is going to change ends. She's bowled 2 overs, 0 for 10 so far. Those 2 coming down the Radcliffe Road end. She's going to come on at the Stuart Broad end. Just having a chat to her skipper and fellow spinner, Kirsty Gordon, trying to work out where her fielders are going to be. Long on, long off. Going to be 2 of them. Deep mid-wicket, deep square leg, and a ring of 3 on the leg side. Grace Ballinger at fine leg. Tammy Beaumont at mid-wicket, just there. Does brilliantly. Difficult spot to field as well on the edge of the square, just by a new strip. Ball might pop up, have a hole or 2 in there. They rock hard as well, those squares. Take the skin off the elbows. Deft from Courtney Webb. Just opens the face up. Teresa Graves does well, keeps it to a single. 65 to win. Katie George just takes her guard. She's been out there just a couple of minutes, 1 off 3 so far. And a face up to Lucy Hyam for the first time. Carla Kirk does the fielding at deep cover. Keeps it to 1. Won't mind that at the moment, Blaze. Oh, top edge. Chance of a catch. It's going to be a good one. It's an excellent catch, that, from Sarah Bryce behind the stumps. Went for a big sweep. Courtney Webb didn't get anywhere near enough on it. It went up. Sarah Bryce had to turn, coming over her shoulders. Always difficult with a helmet on as well, because you haven't got that full range of vision. But a keeper of her quality is going to take that 99 times out of 100, and she does. Lucy Hyam changes ends, picks up a wicket. Couple of quick wickets for the Blaze. Eve Jones followed by Courtney Webb. Central Sparks 71 for 5, and the Blaze on top of this game now, Beth.
Yeah, we said before 2 quick wickets would sway it back into the Blaze hands, and those 2 wickets are coming 2 overs, so really good from a Blaze perspective. Really good for Lucy Hyam as well. Just going for the 12 runs off her 2.4 overs so far, so good economy rate as well. That run rate, required run rate, is creeping up. And now 2 new batters to the crease.
Yeah, it's felt like a bowler's game so far. Catherine Bryce, the only one who's really got the measure of this pitch for any length of time. And it took her a while to get going as well. So, Karis Pavley, a left-hander, comes out. She's going to be on strike. Mid-off is up in the ring. Deep square, deep mid-wicket, deep cover, long on. Fine leg, straight-ish mid-wicket, long off, cover, backward point. Change of field, so there's a big gap at mid-wicket now, because Teresa Graves has come across from mid-wicket to short third. Goes down the wicket, looks to swing into the leg side, gets an inside edge onto the stumps. Didn't know where that had gone at all, Karis Pavley. In the end, scrambles through for a single, half a chance of a run out. Can see her just looking to push it into that gap, maybe try to overhit that one a tad. Eyes lit up with the fuller ball.
Yeah, good finish to Lucy Hyams over there. I believe just the 3 runs off it, and the wicket as well. So last 2 overs for the Blaze here have been exceptional, and Josie Groves will continue from the Radcliffe Road end.
Yeah, 5 runs off the last 3 overs. Couple of wickets. Not had a boundary since the last ball, the 7th over. T20 cricket. It's good going. 6 overs without a boundary.
Josie Groves into bowl. Well flighted, and that one's hit. Good diving effort from Teresa Graves in the ring there. Tammy Beaumont comes round, but they will get through for 2 pretty comfortably. Josie Groves giving this ball plenty of flight. She has seen the reward for it so far, bowling very nicely. Pavlik comes down the track, hits that to mid-wicket on the boundary for 1.
I love how much air they're giving the ball. So if you're Central Sparks, what time or when in the game do you start to get worried and think we need to hit boundaries here? Are they still alright, just about, to tap it around for an over or 2, or is 60 or 40 a big ask?
Yeah, I don't know. You always want to kind of finish the game before the last over. That one swept well from Katie George there. Lucy Hyam will give chase. And it's a good bit of fielding down there. They'll come back for 2 runs. Yeah, you don't ever want it to go to the last over. You want to get it done before then as a batting unit.
When you're 5 down in a chase like this, do you have to sort of accept it's probably going to be a late finish?
Probably, yeah. I think they'll look to just build this partnership between Katie George and Karis Pavley here, as they are 2 pretty new batters. Josie into bowl, gives that one plenty of flight. Good looking shot there from Katie George. Bit of a fumble as well from Kirsty Gordon. So they will get through for 2 runs. Nicely bowled again though from Josie. Yeah, look to build this partnership maybe a little bit. But again, there's not much time left at all. So one of them will have to kick on and be the aggressor.
Just 5 boundaries in the innings so far.
Katie George just works that off her hip for 1 run. They are looking for these 2s though. Bit of a bigger boundary than what we've seen here at Trent Bridge in the last few games, so plenty of 2s are on offer. Groves into bolt. Firmly struck shot there from Pavley, but fielded nicely from Kirsty Gordon. They'll get through for the 1 run. Central Sparks 81 for 5 of 14 overs.
Yeah, still no boundary since that final ball of the 7th. There's the graph, like for like. I'd say Blaze just about in front now. This could still be tight though. 36 balls, there's the run rate, so quite even in terms of run rates. It's that couple of wickets in the middle that have just stunted the growth of the Blazes scorecard. Kirsty Gordon, the skipper, is back on. 2 overs, 1 for 8. Grace Ballinger still has an over left. She might be held back for a bit later. Catherine Bryce has bowled 2. Lucy Hyam has bowled 3. Josie Groves has bowled 3. And Teresa Graves has bowled 1. Teresa Graves the only one slightly wayward. I'd be surprised if we see her again. Enough overs for Gordon to get to. Remember, Nadine de Klerk, she batted, but she isn't out there on the field. Gordon into the left-hander, Karis Pavley. Chance of a run out. Pavley had gone 3/4 of the way down. Katie George said no. Pavley almost completed 2. Did well to get it back there. Another dot. You can feel the pressure building. Struck sweetly, but straight 2 long off. Long on even, so just be the 1 run. That boundary feeling like ages ago. It's because it was ages ago. 38 balls without 1 in T20, that's massive. It's gone up. She's looking for that boundary, but there's also a fielder down there at long on who isn't quite going to get there. It was a brilliant effort. A really, really good effort. And what she did so well down there, Marie Kelly, was got her body behind it because it bounced awkwardly in front of her, and she made sure that while she was having a go for the catch, she made sure that ball wasn't going to get past her, because so often you see those just bounce and flick off someone's shoulder and race away for 4. That didn't happen. Speared in by Gordon. They just pick up a single. Singles aren't enough for the Central Sparks at this stage though. 4 off the over so far. 50 needed, but they've only got 32 balls to do it. Not far shy of 10 and over needed. Well up from the 6.75 they needed at the start. Fired in. Helped on its way. A brilliant effort from Lucy Hyam, but she can't quite prevent it. Finally, Central Sparks have a boundary. It's their first in a long while.
One-handed shot.
Just take the band off the bat.
I don't know.
I was thinking, why didn't she leave it when she first played it? Because it would have been a wide.
That was. Fair enough. Good placement from her.
Karis Pavley. Is that the boundary to get her and the Central Sparks going? Gordon changes the angle. Karis Pavley hits it at mid-wicket. Brilliant catch. Really, really good catch by Ella Claridge. She's tall. She's got a long reach. Took a couple of steps to her left. Put the dive in. Made it look pretty comfortable. It wasn't an easy take that though. Karis Pavley, having just hit that boundary, has to go, and the Central Sparks are 89 for 6.
Yeah, that's a great grab from Ella Claridge there. Truly showing her wicket keeping skills, I reckon. Some good lateral movement and safe as houses. Not a bad player to have a mid-wicket there. Always ready for that catch that comes nice and quickly. So another key wicket there for Kirsty Gordon.
Yeah, she's free. That's 2 for 16. Can I see Lucy Hyam back, do you reckon? Yeah.
Yep.
What's the end of the last over? Sorry.
Lucy Hyam, yep, back on from the Ratcliffe Road end. bowled nicely so far today. I believe this is her 4th over.
It is 1
Yep.
for 13 from her 3 previously.
Just have that feeling that Katie George and Emily Arlott will look to take on Lucy Hyam here. 5 overs left. Deep square, mid wicket, long on and a long off as well. Hyam into bowl. Well flighted, struck firmly down the ground. But it will just be for a single as Tammy Beaumont does the fielding. That long off.
Got to go. No time to mess around now. 45 off 29.
Full of delivery there from Lucy, but play to long off. Will just be a single, but as we've said, singles aren't enough. That required weight up at 9.43 now, so the time is needed to kick on here from the Central Sparks. Katie George comes down the track, but that's well bowled there from Lucy Hyam. A good dot ball. Saw her come in, so just put it in a little bit shorter. George moved to the leg side to give herself some room, but again, struck firmly at Kirsty Gordon. Spinners getting through these overs very quickly. Already 4 balls gone of this over.
Yeah, look at those figures. 1 for 15. For 22 balls.
I meant George stays still in a crease this time and hits it straight to Ella Claridge at mid wicket. 1 ball left of this Lucy Hyam over then. 1 ball left of her 4 over spell. Hyam in. That one swept down the leg side, but some good fielding from Grace Ballinger there. And they'll get through for 1 run. Lucy Hyam finishes 4 overs, 16 runs and 1 wicket. Some great bit of bowling there from her. Very economical. And top stuff from the spinner.
Yeah, exceptional from Lucy Hyam there. She gets a warm round of applause here at Trent Bridge, and rightly so. That is as good an effort as you are likely to see in a T20 game. Economy rate of 4 and over. Speaking of decent economy rates, Grace Ballinger is going to come back into the attack. She bowled 3 overs a little bit early on. Actually quite expensive by her standards. 3 overs, 1 for 17. Feels a little bit harsh, but she's been going at 5s in the competition. She's been outstanding so far, and she was outstanding first up today, as Beth has said. Of those 17 runs, maybe half of them came on from inside edges. And Kirsty Gordon's gone back to us to try and finish this off. Would have been tempting to leave her till the very end, but actually they can seal victory earlier than that if they put them under pressure. 43 off 24. Every ball has to be an event for the Central Sparks. Oh, and how has that missed? Both pad, Katie George's inside edge and her leg stump. Hooping back in towards her.
Yeah, good stuff from Grace Ballinger here. I think her first 2 overs went for 7, I believe, so a very good start, and she'll want to finish strong here.
She's got 5 balls left. 1 for 17. Still 1 for 17. Big swing and a miss from Katie George. Just jogging through Grace Ballinger. That cut-off time is 5:16. So in about 11 minutes time. Got to have started that last over. Should be okay, but dot balls will help. That's a lovely strike. Got confused. Said half of stroke and half of shot there. It was a lovely one of whichever one of those adjectives you want to use to describe it. Over pitched slightly, just sat in her crease and waited. She tried to overhit a couple of balls previously, Katie George. Got made to look a tad silly by Grace Ballinger, but that was lovely. gets away with that one. Grace Ballinger. Direct hit might have been close there as well. But she was down on one knee. It was going wide down the leg side, so it would have been an extra. Then I thought Katie George was just going to tickle it past Shareza Graves at short fine leg in between her and Catherine Bryce to face the back. She didn't quite get everything on it. Just the one. That might well be a boundary though. Gets it away. Lucy Heim is quick, but not quick enough to catch that one. Decent finish to the over this from Central Sparks. Emily Arlett this time picks up a boundary. Much needed. Let's have another look at it. Just over pitched. Able to use the pace of Grace Ballinger. All the way along the ground. Nice shot. 34 from 19 needed now. Just still a big ask, but it's still doable. That was the 100 up for the Central Sparks. 101 for 6. Slow ball dug out. Take a single to Tammy Beaumont. Just going to have to be a bit careful with time here as well. 102 for 6. Kirsty Gordon, the skipper, is going to get into place to bowl pretty quickly here, I think. If you're Central Sparks, you just slow it down a bit, don't you? Just take a bit longer in between.
Yeah, the old fly comes into the helmet. Yeah, I think. How long is that? Still got a while. That run rate up at 11s then.
It's going to be Catherine Bryce, in fact, yeah. A couple of overs left for her.
Bryce into bolt. Third over of the game. Nice and full. And that one struck firmly in between extra and cover. And that will be 4 runs to our lot. Capitalised on cover being up in the ring. Gave herself a bit of width from the crease. And struck that firmly.
Can strike a ball, made 28 in the last game against the Thunder, 28 off 22. That was in a losing cause. Can she turn it around with the Central Sparks here?
Similar shot again, but that one's hit straight to Kirsty Gordon at extra. Just giving herself a bit of room here. Bryce into bolt. Pace off delivery. That one struck firmly down the ground. Good bit of fielding from Marie Kelly. They'll come back for 2 runs. Good bit of running there from the Sparks. Nice and full delivery. Oh, and Catherine Bryce has missed the stumps on probably one of the most simple pieces of cricket today. It can happen. It can.
The thing is, it's the shock of that ball being smashed back at her. She nearly takes an absolute stunner of a catch.
Yeah.
Her hand is probably still stinging. And she has to react quickly and just set herself, which she did. She did all the hard work and then just missed the last little bit out.
And she's got a folder, next delivery. Pace off delivery from Catherine Bryce there, and bowls our lot.
Yeah, big smiles, little bit of relief.
Yeah.
She could have had 3 different wickets in 2 balls there. She'll settle for that one, I think. Arla is the big one here. Let's have another look at it, shall we, Beth? I love her follow through. She just kind of stops.
She stops, yeah. No, great stuff there from Catherine Bryce. Still sticking to that field that she had at the start of the over, back to self. To bowl it in the right place. And
can we name a player of the match? I don't know who officially does that.
I don't know who
do we
does
have
that.
the power, do you reckon?
I reckon we
up
could,
here?
yeah, I reckon so. We could have our own one.
Yeah, in the ears of nearly 5,000 people watching, Catherine Bryce is our player of the match.
Yeah.
We've gone a tad early, but
We have gone early, yeah.
I'm happy with my decision, even if... Yeah, I'm happy with my decision either way here. Whatever happens. Sorry, our decision. Unanimous, obviously.
Cover goes out and long off comes up into the ring. Another pace-off delivery there from Catherine Bryce. Michaela Kirk will do the fielding at mid-wicket, but they'll just get through for 1 run. So a good over that from Catherine Bryce. And 7 coming from it, but a big wicket as well.
Would you like me to quickly tell you what's happening elsewhere?
Yes.
Okay.
Please do.
Sunrisers. I was hoping you were going to say that. I'd have been pretty stuck if you said absolutely not. Sunrisers need 31 off 18, but they've just got 2 wickets remaining. 101 wicket, in fact, in the time it's taken me to refresh that. 105 for 9. So it looks like the Storm are going to pick up a victory, and having already picked up a victory a little bit earlier on, the South East Stars. Kirsty Gordon, skipper, back into the attack. And not quite sure how that's missed everything, but it has. Tickled round the corner by Davies, but it'll just be a single. That cut-off time is 5:17 now. It's only 5:13, so I think we'll be okay. I say we. I mean, I'm not involved in the slightest, but...
Supporting the Blaze today.
Katie George on strike, dances down the track, hits it over cover. Hannah Claridge thought she might have been in the game for a second or two there. She was, but her involvement was chasing it and keeping it just to a couple. 112 for 7. Heaved into the leg side. Tammy Beaumont with those distinctive sunglasses on. Definitely don't need to be worn on the face today. They can stay on the hat. Unless they've got a little bit of extra lighting in them, then I wouldn't worry. Bryony Smith finished 57 unbeaten, by the way, in that South East Stars chase. Easy victory for them, really, up at 01 Diamonds. Just a single there to Georgia Davies. 21 off 7 now. Not impossible, I've seen it done before. Takes something quite special though. Suspect Katie George will settle for a single off the final ball of the over. So will we all down to her. Last over, 6 balls remaining. Central Sparks need 20 for victory. Home side, the Blaze, just need to keep them under that to make it 4 from 4 and go top of the Charlotte Edwards Trophy, Charlotte Edwards Cup table.
Yeah, good spell from Kirsty Gordon there. 22 runs coming off her 4 overs, picking up 2 crucial wickets as well. So, good job for her today. Up to Catherine Bryce to finish her off for the Blaze here. Field, deep extra cover along on mid wicket and square leg. Bryce into bowl, reverse hit, and that's dropped by Grace Ballinger at 3rd man there. Always difficult to pick up those. She would have liked to think she'd caught that, I reckon.
Yeah, I think most people on the ground thought she had, herself included. It just had too much time, didn't she? One of those. Actually, you'd rather that was just fizzed at you and you just stick your hands out, take the catch.
Just the 1 run though. Brings George Davies on strike. Bryce in. Nice full delivery, that's hit aerial. And it will drop in no man's land. Get through for another single. Good little bowling here from Catherine Bryce.
I'm just starting to go over the pencil marks in pen on her name as player of the match. Starting to chip it into the trophy that we brought with us.
Yeah, Engrave. Bryce into bowl. Pace off delivery. Played out to Tammy Beaumont, extra cover. Davis works that out to square leg for just the 1 run. Wow, very nice bowling display here from the Blaze, I think.
It's been pretty convincing, hasn't it? I've
It
not
has.
really felt at any point like they've been in much danger. They've controlled this chase.
2 balls left from Catherine Bryce. George steps across in her crease. Pulls that one away, and that will be 4 runs. Nice shot from Katie George there. Brings her on to 27 off 24. Batting nicely.
There were a few moments when Eve Jones and Courtney Webb were together where you were thinking, not that the Central Sparks were on top, but you felt they'd got that platform that they could kick on from, but they actually never kicked on, so the Blaze did really well. They were containing them even in that middle period where they weren't taking wickets. They weren't scoring runs freely, the Sparks.
Bryce with the final ball. That one's hit firmly. Out to Lucy Hyam at the square leg. Oh. Ella Claridge does some backing up there. It's gone through 3 players. But a good bit of fielding and a very good win for the Blaze.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Convincing victory. The fireworks go off. Catherine Bryce, absolutely the player of the match. And the Blaze go top of the Charlotte Edwards Cup table after 4 games. Victory by 10 runs, but it felt all along like a pretty comfortable one, and the reason for it, as we said, was Catherine Bryce. She top scored in the game, in fact, the only half centurion with 57. Picked up 2 for 28 from her 4. But the Blaze were just excellent all round. It felt like a team who had a game plan and executed it really well, Beth.
Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, as we said, Catherine Bryce batting very nicely. I think we were potentially a little bit concerned in the middle, not knowing if that was enough runs put on the board, but the Blaze bowlers came in, bowled very nicely today, and catches taken nicely too, so really good stuff.
Yeah, brilliant victory. Central Sparks back-to-back defeats for them. They lost in Manchester yesterday at Old Trafford to the Thunder, and that is where the Blaze head next on Sunday. Now, Cricinfo is telling me it's a 10:30 a.m. start, but Cricinfo gave me the wrong start time today as well, so I will verify that. If you're planning on going along, you're planning on checking out the live stream, then please do check the start times, but a chance to go 5 for 5 for the Blaze. It'd be brilliant to have Beth Harmer alongside me, Blaze batter. I've been Sam Dowling. The Blaze have won by 10 runs and they are top of the table, so I think that's a good way to leave you there, and we will sign off. And remember, you can pick up the Nottinghamshire versus Northants men's game a little bit later on if you're that way inclined too.